And I'm back. Shoutouts to my computer for crashing. You know, I'll always love him. God damn it. Whatever. You know what happens? Something bad happens, and so you have to make sure that happens. Not again. I don't know where I'm going with this, but whatever. So let's continue. Okay. Jesse pressed her foot up alongside Sarah's for comparison. I don't know. I just don't know whether larger or smaller feet are better for dancing. I mean, if you dance with a partner, small feet would be better to avoid being stepped on. You look very stylish in slippers. Slippers are cuter if they are smaller, but larger feet might be better for holding position and standing on your toes. Small feet may not be as strong. Your feet have a good shape though. They arch well. They're very pretty. Can feet be pretty? Oh god. Ask that to those with a foot fetish. Coronal? Yeah, I'm assuming. Coronal Grange's little daughter, Isabel, in India, was the prettiest girl I ever knew. All the gentlemen said she was the beauty of the regiment. Damn. She had dimples and round, rose-colored cheeks, pale blue eyes, and long curling hair the color of gold. Ooh. And everyone said those things were very pretty. No one ever spoke of her feet. I mean, yeah, I guess. I suppose if feet can be pretty, then perhaps I do have pretty feet. I know the rest of me is not. Oh, no self-confidence, I see. My hair is too black and straight and short. I'm too thin, and my eyes are strange color. Strange color. I think green is more normal than whatever Jessie has. You don't have the same kind of beauty that dolls are made of, but that doesn't mean that you aren't pretty. I think you are quite interesting to look at. Yeah, I feel like she's more softish spoken, but not shy. I'll try to get something like that, okay? Sarah did not wish to contradict her new friend, who had no reason to lie, but her inner conviction said that she was an ugly little girl who could not be so easily dispelled. I'm getting some weird vibes from that line. Maybe I'm overthinking things. Okay, whatever. Will you show me the rest of your dolls and clothes? Do all of your petticoats have so many lace frills? Do you think any of them would fit me? I don't know. I suppose we can find out. New week. Okay, so that was the whole event. Okay. On Sunday morning, the students gathered in the entrance hall of Miss Minchin's Select Seminary. Girls, are you ready? Form up into a line behind Lavinia. Sarah, dear, it is our custom to walk to and from church every Sunday, and when the weather permits. That allows the horses a day of rest and ensures that students receive regular exercise. It is important to look your best when you are walking amongst the public. Out among the public. We want our school to always have a good impression. You should follow Lavinia's cues, and she will show you what to do. Lavinia is... Oh, that name. I don't know, just looking at it just confused me. Lavinia is always a model student. At the hearing her name, Lavinia smiled and tilted her head. You could learn a great deal from Lavinia, dear. And as her father is also posted to India, the two of you should have much in common. I'm sure you will make close friends. Now go and stand in line behind her. Sarah made her way to the front of the line where Jessie and Lavinia stood close together. What are you doing? Go to the back! I'll keep that way. Miss Minchin told me to stand behind you. She said you were a model. Oh, very well then. But that's my place. You wouldn't want to disobey Miss Minchin, would you? No. We have to show her, our new girl, how to behave herself in church. She may have never seen one before. Sarah thought it was wisest to remain silent. Oh, so I can change it. Okay. I get last time? Belief, grace, vigor. I don't know. How do I reach best girl? Let's see. I think my mic is a little too close to me. That should be fine. Thing is, I don't know. So I'm still assuming it's sympathy. Quite a bit of knowledge. Yeah, let's go with right diary. For whatever reason, vigor is the hardest one to get, I think. Or is it patience? It actually might be patience. Artistry is like everywhere. Not in large amounts though. Go for a walk. Let's go with one with patience. This one. Oh, okay. Read a book. Yeah, I feel like knowledgeable. Oh, so there's a chance I only get like one of them? So they are inherently better. Or there's inherently luck involved, okay. So, I mean, not really, but we gotta work. Wait, gain equal to half of. Ooh, that actually sounds pretty good. Is that what the other one was? Wait a second, they're not just. I don't know why I'm reading this. Okay. Gain artistry equal to favor? Okay. Double all. Regardless, I still need vigor, so. Yeah, this should be fine. Dance practice. I may need the sympathy though. I'm gonna try tea party again. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Yeah, we got some vigor. Let's go. Yes, that's the one I wanted actually. On today, that's fine. Nice. Oh, we're getting the good ones. Damn. Great sympathy. How do I get 7 sympathy already? Damn, let's go. Okay. A knocking at the door. Sarah dear. Yes? It is. Oh, hello. Bonjour, mademoiselle. I think I said that wrong, but whatever. Miss Mitchin hissed through her teeth. Damn, what a bitch. And the young woman in the maid's uniform fell silent. Sarah, before he left, your father arranged for a maid to be employed specifically for your needs. She has just arrived. I believe she is from France. Dude, she's hella pretty. What the hell? Yes. Her name is Mariette. Yeah, Mariette. And she will be living in your rooms, helping you with your clothing in the morning and anything else you require. Please use her as your... What the hell is that word? Liaison? Coco. What the fuck? How do you say that? I've never seen that word in my life. Liaison. Let's see, where is it?
Liaison.
Okay. Communication or cooperation which facilitates the close relation of people in an organization.
Liaison.
Okay. Please use her as your liaison with the staff. Oh wait, whatever. If you need food, send your maid. rather than speaking to you directly. And don't let her fool you. She does speak the queen's tongue. She swept out of the room, leaving the maid and her new little mistress looking at each other in confusion. Bonjour, Maria. Oh, she's so from France. I probably missed it at the beginning, whatever. Bonjour, Marianne. Je m'appelle Sarah. Comment allez-vous? Très bien, merci. Ooh. Kind of voice should I give her that? I'm pretty sure like none of my voices are pretty distinguishable from each other. But I'll just have to practice that. And I am pleased to see that you are just as your papa described you. Oh, what did he say? That no other girl is as solemn as you. And you would make me smile. But why would being solemn make someone smile? Oh, it is your je ne sais quoi. It is you. Why don't you show me around your rooms? I said that one pretty horribly. Oh, so that's okay. Let's see. Dude, I'm actually really interested in her. So she's not available yet. Okay, whatever. Yeah. May I ask, is it alright if I ask you a few questions about yourself? Bien sûr, mademoiselle. What do you wish to know? What is your family name? Miss Minchin did not say. Dumas, mademoiselle. Oh, you're a relative of the great French writer, the author of the Three Musketeers? Maria chuckled kindly. No, mademoiselle. Well, not in a close way, I'm not. There are many with the name Dumas, and I cannot know what connections there are between all people. Do you know all your cousins and your cousins' cousins? And all who bear the name Crew? Kuru? I don't know anyone else named Crew except for myself and Papa. So you see, I cannot say who my relatives might be at some distance. Sarah nodded. Yeah. Where in France did you come from? I grew up in Limoges. You may have heard of the Limoges books, the porcelain? Sarah shook her head. Oh well, they were famous once. Perhaps they will be again. For now, like much of Limoges, they have faded. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I'm learning a bit of French here. Let's see. Limoges is an actual city. Pronunciation.
Limoges.
Limoges? That doesn't sound... No, not British pronunciation.
Limoges.
Limoges. But that's British. No French pronunciation? That sucks. Oh well. Limoges. Let's go with Limoges. Like much of Limoges, they have faded. What is it like there? What is it like anyway? It is a city, not so large as Paris or London. No. No. Let me tone it down a bit. Is it near Paris? No, pas tres Broche. It is in the south. You must rely on the railway to travel between them. All trains lead to Paris. Sarah tried to picture it. She did not know Limoges, but if it was in the south, then it must be warm and green, surely. She had seen paintings of France. So she's not from France, actually. Where the hell is she from? Did I miss it? Oh well. She had seen paintings of France, stone houses, arches, and bridges. Rolling green hills, hanging vines. And sunlight, always sunlight, not the fogs of London. Where did I hear that? So apparently, that's a misconception that London is actually not foggy at all. because this is a little misconception that came about from, I think it was American movies or plays. Yeah, I think movies, where they would just have like a big band prop and then just fill it with smoke in order in order to make it look like if it was London, but it was just recorded somewhere else. And so I'm assuming a lot of the world got the misconception that London was just foggy all the time, which it actually isn't. Ha ha ha. Nice little fact in there. Okay, let's continue. It must be lovely. As you say, Mademoiselle. Wait, did her eyes move? It did. Aw. As you say, Mademoiselle. She's gonna like pronounce that all over again every single time. Let me see how to actually say. Silly. French pronunciation. Thank you.
Mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle. So it's like with a Z.
Mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle. Okay. Mademoiselle. 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 As you say, Mademoiselle. How did you come to take this position? What I mean to say is, my papa and I did not have time to visit France, and I did not meet you until you came here. Did you meet my papa somewhere else? No. We have never met in flesh and blood. Your papa. Your papa, he is as a gentleman as knows many other gentlemen in fine cities like Paris. When it happened that he wished to appoint a maid, he wrote this to this Paris gentleman to describe you. And I have a cousin who works for this Paris gentleman, and he thought of me. And so the arrangements were made. And I am glad that they were. Sarah smiled, the gentle warmth of, yeah, that's a really warm smile. I actually really like her a lot. The gentle warmth of Maria's regard was very comforting for the little girl, who had been separated from her family and made to live in a far-off place. It was true that Maria was, for the most part, only another stranger, like any other Miss Minchin in Miss Minchin's seminary. They were only beginning to know each other. And yet, Maria was not simply a stranger who might come and go, like the students. She was Sarah's maid, the beginnings of her very own household. She might in time be the closest thing to family. I wonder about the friend my papa has in Paris. I wonder if he ever knew my mother. New week. It was the beginning of another week in classes. The students were neatly seated in rows in the schoolroom. Miss Minchin walked up and down between the desks, considering that each pupil's head was bowed to her particular lesson. She paused beside Sarah, a book in her hand. Now, Sarah, as your papa has engaged a French maid for you, I conclude that he wishes you to make a special study of French language. I think he engaged her because he thought I would like her, Miss Minchin. I'm afraid that you may have been something of a spoiled little girl, and as such you always imagine that things are done because you like them. It is a fault in you, and one that we must endeavor to train away. Train? What the? Okay. My impression, Sarah, is that your papa wished for you to learn French. I have never really learned to speak French, but that's quite enough. You have never learned, and so you must begin once. The French master, Monsieur Defarge, will be here in a few minutes. Take this book and look at it until he arrives. Dutifully, Sarah stared at the illustrated pages in front of her. Le Pere. Wait, but didn't she? I thought she spoke French when she first met. Maybe she just knew basic reading? Le Pere, the father. La Mere, the mother. Ooh, I'm learning French too. Let's go. You look rather cross, Sarah. I'm sorry you do not like the idea of learning French. I'm very fond of it, but you must not say but when you're told to do things. Oh, why are you giggling? It's about young ladies should not make a dreadful snickering noise like a horse. Yes, Miss Minchin. Sarah, look at your books again. Yes, Miss Minchin. Le fils, the son. Le frère, the brother. Oh dear. Shortly after, Monsieur de Frag arrived in the classroom. The French master was an elderly gentleman with a neatly trimmed mustache and beard, and hair that flew outwards in dramatic dramatic points. His eyes lit up when he caught sight of an unfamiliar little girl puzzling over a book of French phrases. Oh, this is an approval for me, madame. Her papa, Captain Crew, is very anxious. Is very anxious that she should begin the language, but I'm afraid she has a childish prejudice against it. She does not seem to learn. I'm very sorry to hear that, mademoiselle. Perhaps when we begin to study together, she may show you that it is a charming daughter. Sarah rose in her seat. Sarah rose in her seat. She was beginning to feel rather desperate. S'il vous plaît, monsieur, je ne peux pas lui faire comprendre. Oh my god. She began to think quite simply in pretty fluent French, but I had not understand. She had not learned French exactly out of books per Papa Miller. That makes sense. Okay. Her papa and other people had always spoken it. She had read and written English. Her papa loved it, and she loved it because she did. Dear Madame, who had died. Oh, her dear mama, who had died when she was born, had been French. Oh, so her mother's French. Okay. Oh, what on earth? What is she saying? Is this some form of joke? Mademoiselle, there's not much I can teach her. She's not learned French. She is French. Her accent is exquisite. You ought to have told me. I tried. I suppose I did not begin right. Oof. Feel the burn. Miss Mitchell slammed her head up on the desk. Silence, young ladies. Silence at once. Although the other students settled back into proper schoolroom behavior, Miss Minchin's lips remained tightly pressed together whenever she looked at Sarah. You bitch. Okay. Yeah, vigor is something I might need. Okay, so gain grace equal to vigor. Yeah, for whatever reason, vigor is going to be the hardest one to get. Okay. That means I might have to increase that. Let's see if I can get double vigor. That'd make it to 4. Should be nice. Yeah, we're gonna do plenty of exercise this week. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. Some vigor there. Why didn't I get it though? It didn't appear on the Monday. Got some there. Dancing. Oh wait, I didn't get vigor that one. Oh. I just realized. 2 vigor, nice. Oh, I actually got it, nice. 4 patience. Oh. 3 grace, okay. If the French language fell naturally from Sarah's lips, there were other lips from which it seemed they could not escape at all, no matter how long the owner stared at her workbook. Oh, she's French. Le père, the father, le mare, the mother. To emigrate. Ermengrade. Yeah, I'll go with to Ermengrade, it seemed almost unbelievable that a girl of her own age could string together so many words of French as if they were mere trifles. Dismayed at her own failings, she was devoting more effort than usual in the trial of understanding her lesson. Her elbows rested on the desk, her hands on her chin, as she repeated the broken syllables under her breath. She stared so hard and bit the ribbon on her pigtail so fast that she attracted the attention of Miss Minchin, who, feeling extremely cross at the moment, immediately pounced on her. Miss John, what is the meaning of this such conduct? What? I'll have to learn a bit more before I give her advice. Remove your elbows. Take your ribbon out of your mouth. Sit up at once. Yes, Miss Minchin. Okay, I'm starting to not like those two. Matters not improved for Miss St. John when the French master himself arrived. Good bread. Le bon pain? Finally, though, he was. Monsieur de Fleur could not help but smile at her pronunciation. That's not quite correct. Oh my god. Ectos écoutez bien, le bon pain. Le bon bang? Aw. Girls, conduct yourselves. Aw. It isn't funny really, they have to not laugh. Poor thing. Yeah, I don't like it. It was a way of hers to always want to spring into any fray in which someone was made uncomfortable or happy. However, there was no way for any hero to defend or rescue Ermengrade from the horrors of education. At least, not in the lesson period. Not until the lesson period I concluded. Okay, since I can't. Yeah, let's go. What's going on? There we go. Having made up her mind to befriend the unfortunate Ermengrade, Sarah first had to seek her out. Someone like Lavinia could be easily tracked from a distance by the sharp sound of her voice or the drumming heels of little girls stampeding away from her presence. Ermengrade. Oh my god. Ermengrade, however, kept largely to herself and did not make a great deal of noise. Sarah found her at last, bundled rather disconsolately in a window seat. Forthright and fearless, Sarah walked over to offer a friendly greeting. Hello, what is your name? Her name, of course, was already known, as they had been introduced, however briefly, upon Sarah's arrival at the school. This was, however, the traditional thing that little girls always said to each other by way of beginning an acquaintance. The etiquette of children has its own observances. I haven't decided on a voice yet. She seems to be more of a shy one. I'll probably change Jessie's whenever she comes up. My name is Ermengrade. Oh my god, why do I keep saying Ermengrade? Ermengrade. Yeah, Ermengrade St. John. Mine is Sarah Crew. Yours is very pretty. It sounds like a storybook. It actually does. Do you like it? To understand why she fluttered so nervously, one must recall that a new pupil at school is, for a short time, a very uncertain thing. Cliques and friendships in a small environment can become very firmly set indeed, and leave no room for the excluded, no matter how many years might pass. To the friendless, then a new student brings with her a breath of hope. Here's someone who is not yet claimed. Perhaps she will like me. And yet, as she is unknown, friendship may not be a possibility. A new girl could equally be snobbish or foolish or mean-spirited. Hope is always adultered with fear. Sleep aid? What do you mean? This pupil was even more noteworthy than most, for rumors about her had filled the school even before her arrival. You heard the music? Yeah? Okay. Maybe my voice is too low though. Maybe if I put up the gain a bit. Lo 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 lo. Da 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 dum bum bum. Is that about right? Let's see. I already read that. She had her own carriage. Yeah, she had her own carriage and her own maid. Her rooms were like no one else's. Her wardrobe was exquisite. She had the adventure of a voyage from India to discuss. It is no wonder that Ermengrade was somewhat tongue-tied upon being addressed. I like yours. Your name. She bit her lip in Jargon? Another word I don't know. She bit her lip in jargon at her own stumbling. Sarah held out her hand, not as a grand lady might for a gentleman to touch it, but as if greeting someone who was already a friend. After only a moment's hesitation, Ermengrade took it. I'm very pleased to meet you. Me too. Oh, you should meet Emily as well. Who's Emily? Come up to my room and you shall see. Alright. They jumped down from the window seat together and went upstairs. Is it true that you have a whole playroom all to yourself? The ordinary pupils at Mitch's Select Seminary had only small bedrooms of their own. enough space to sleep and dress and read if they were inclined, but for most activities, they must venture out. Yes, Papa and Miss Minchin. Yes, Papa asked Miss Minchin to let me have one. Wait, so the second room was an entire playroom? That's crazy. She's fucking loaded. She opened the door and beckoned Ermengrade inside. See, it is the sitting room through that door. Oh, it's beautiful. Sometimes when I'm playing, I make up stories about things that I'm doing and tell them to myself. And I don't like people to hear it. And to hear me. It spoils it if I think people might be listening. Does that sound too selfish of me? I do tell stories for others as well. It is only that some stories, particularly new ones that I'm only making up, are private. These are too delicate to be shared. Ermengrade had paused, her eyes wide. You make them up? How can you do that? Why, anyone can make up things. Have you never tried? But where do the stories come from? Inside my head. Oh, this music is starting to get to me. Starting to like it a lot. Don't you ever imagine things that might happen that haven't? You must have dreams when you sleep, at least. Ermengrade shook. What? Ermengrade shook her head, her braids wobbling. I try not to think about things like that. They are too confusing. I try to think only about what I'm supposed to be learning at school. I try very hard, but it doesn't seem to help. Sarah found the concept of a little girl with no imagination at all too difficult to grasp. Honestly, surely you must read storybooks about things that aren't real. Oh no, I hate to read. God damn it. Seeing that this response disappointed Sarah, she finished for a better explanation. I don't read well. I can't concentrate. The words run together, and it's so hard to remember anything that I read in a book. I meant to read a great many books for Miss Minchin's classes, but I get them all mixed up. When we read poems after history, I thought that Christabel and the daughter of the king was the daughter of the king of Spain. Oh, snap. I don't want to read anything more than I absolutely must, only I make a muddle of it. And if I tried to make up a story, then how would I remember that was real and what was real and that was real? Wait. If I tried to make up a story, then how would I remember what was real and what wasn't? Okay, I just read it wrong. But it's good that you can. What if you read stories about fairies and dragons? Surely you won't get those confused with things at school. But I might. You are very like a fairy and you are here at school. I'm sorry. I'm very dull and slow. Everyone says so. I understand that if you do not wish to spend any more time with me. No! No. Sarah patted Ermengrade, oh my god, on the shoulder in a companionable fashion. Everyone is different. I'm only sorry that it means I cannot share my favorite books with you. Oh, I have an idea. Perhaps if I read them to you, then you would not get them confused with the other books? I don't know. Hesitantly, she smiled. But could I try? Aw, good. Yeah. I like her. She's nice. Did you see that darling little blue and yellow bird on the way back from the church? It was only a blue tit. They're hopelessly common. I hadn't seen one before. They're country birds. They're like trees. You don't see them so much in London. There must be many more birds in the country. Are there any birds in England that are blue all over? I don't think so. Are there blue birds in India? So she lived in India then. I assumed they lived somewhere else and then the dad just went to India. No, but it makes sense if she also knows somewhat about Indian culture. Okay. Well, there are some birds with bright blue feathers, but not all over, and some birds that are blue all over, but only a bit blue. I thought that perhaps in England I might find the bluebird of happiness. What's that? I shall tell you all of you. Come to my room and we shall have a tea delivered. Ooh. You shouldn't give orders to cook. It's not proper for a young lady to go into the kitchens. Oh, I won't go. My maid Mariette will fetch the tea for us. You have your own personal maid to bring you tea? Yes, my father arranged for her to come from France. Come and say hello. Oh, she's so nice about it. Oh, damn. She's like not even aware though. Sarah and her entourage were greeted at her door. Oh! Oh my, so many visitors. If it is alright, would you please bring tea for my guests, Marriott? Oui, mademoiselle. Marriott went at once to the kitchens to carry out her little mistress' orders. The head cook of Miss Minchin's select seminary looked up at Marriott's approach, her face as pinch as dough. Oh, I don't like her face already. Here, now, what is it then? Afternoon tea for 4. Oh, is that all? I expected she'll be wanting fresh cakes too. Never mind. We haven't made any yet. Oh, none. There are biscuits already. Never seen that. Okay, so at least because of this conversation, I can tell that it doesn't just simply follow Sarah around. Huh. Okay, so it's not just strictly from her perspective. Okay. Never seen that stop one of those girls from wanting more. Quick as you please. It is perhaps so with some, but not with my mistress. Oh fuck. French. Elle a l'air d'une princesse. Kette or Sette? I'm assuming it's Sette. Sette petite. She thanks me for all my work as if she was thanking a grand lady. Giving herself airs, you mean? As you wish it. Still, I am very pleased with my place. Now the tea? Well, she seems to be happy, and I'm fine with that. So, I need to double my vigor again, just in case. Let's go with... I also need sympathy. Was the hearts the sympathy? Yeah, it was. Okay, so... I don't really need to go for a walk. Let's try this. And then... Dance. Toys. Yeah, this is good. Let's see. Nice, some vigor. Let's go. Not what I wanted. Let's try again though. Let's go. That's what I wanted. Select one activity. Wait. Did I press B? No way. Does it change? It changes. Wait, did it? It did because I got the sympathy last time. Wait, what happened? I might have skipped something. Whatever. Right this way, dear Sarah. Lady Pitkin will be absolutely charmed to meet you. Yes, Miss Minchin. Where is she taking Sarah? Miss Minchin is showing her off to the other visiting parents, or maybe a donor. I'm sure I wouldn't know. Dear Sarah, must come into the drawing room and talk to Miss Musgrave about India. Dear Sarah must speak French, and Lady Pitkin, her accent is so perfect. She learned French at the seminary, that's for sure. That's for certain. And there's nothing so clever in her knowing it. She says herself that she didn't learn it at all. She just picked it up because she always heard her papa speak it. It's simply disgusting the way Miss... Oh yeah, I agree. Actually, yeah. It's simply disgusting the way Miss Minchin trots her out like an ornament. I can't imagine being so good at anything Miss Minchin would want to show me off, especially French. Sarah is always imagining she will no doubt grow up to be eccentric. There's one thing about her though. She's never grand about herself in the least bit, even though she easily might be. I believe I couldn't help being proud, just a little, if I had so many fine things and was made such a fuss over. A little? Miss Minchin brought you into courtesy for a major's wife. You would purr just like... What? I don't get that. Just like Tybo. Oh, Levi, don't be silly. Being a cat might even be nicer than being able to... What? Being a cat might even be Aw. What a weird comment. And every bit as likely for you. Oh, you bitch. There's no use in waiting for here, Sarah. She'll be at tea for hours, I'm sure. We may as well go our own way. Wait, did I press the B button again? I'm probably like misinputting something. Damn it, I missed it. Oh, damn. I need a bit more belief. Oh well. Damn, I need a lot for that one. Either way, let's go with. Come and see, come and see, come and see. Ah, mademoiselle, you do not need to tug at me. It is a promise, I will follow. Her hand is still held in Sarah's. Mariette stepped into the classroom. I'm very sorry, I was too excited. It is quite alright then. Now, what is it you wish to show me? Well, as it happens, it is more than I wished for you to show me. Miss Minchin keeps a globe in her schoolroom, and I was hoping that you could show me where in France you were born. Ah, if it is pleasing, mademoiselle. I do not think it will make much of an impact to you, though. The distance between one city and another compared to the world, it is not so much. Dutifully, she turned the globe to bring France into view. Somewhere near here, I believe, would be Limoges. Sarah followed Mariette's finger and smiled to herself. You're right, it does not it does not tell me anything more than I already knew. Could you show me where you lived in India? There we go. There we go. So she lived in India, okay. Here I think, or somewhere nearby. It's hard to be sure, but this is where the ship took us. Sarah tilted her head and considered Mariette curiously. You are very different from an Indian servant. My Aya was always kind to me, but she would never tell me if I was doing something wrong or making a mistake. Even if I was asked for her opinion, she would always say that I was right. It was very confusing sometimes until I learned to ask my papa when I needed to know something. Your papa wrote a view that you were a very clever and curious child who was eager to learn, and you would appreciate having the reason explained to you. Yes, that is just so. Oh my god. It was another sign of how much her papa had considered her needs and well-being, and it made Sarah feel warm to think about. Every time Mariette speaks to me, it is a gift from my papa. I do miss my Aya sometimes and the other servants from our home. They were always part of my life. Even the ones that worked directly for my papa and did not speak to me, they were familiar. I wish I could see them again. All my life, I suppose, my life hasn't really been that long, has it? But for all my life, I always knew that I would have to go away like the other children did. Other children? The climate of India is very bad for British children, and so we must return to England and go to school. That is what everyone says. I wonder if the climate in England is very bad for Indian children also. Oops. Perhaps this is why none of them traveled with us here. Perhaps it is so. If, as you say, the climate is very different, then it could be very difficult to adjust. However, mademoiselle, it is also very possible that they do not wish to travel so far from the homes and families that they love. That's true, yeah. Oh yes, I didn't think of that. I would not wish to leave either. If I had the choice, I would rather be at home with my papa. It is very difficult to leave behind all that you have known and travel to a foreign land. But this foreign land, this is a foreign land to you. Wasn't it difficult to leave your family and your home in France? Mariette's smile was enigmatic. Who can say? Perhaps it is for the best, and best of all possible worlds. New week. Stick together now, girls. Keep in line, and don't step in any puddles. Just because the church you love is not an excuse to soil your nice dresses. There smells very different when it has rained. It still smells like London. There are too many people and chimneys and horses. I keep lavender sachets in my room so that I can smell the gardens, even when I'm away from home. They're not much. My aunt Elizia sent me the flowers. I stitched them myself. We have lavender in India too. Oh, but isn't lavender an English flower? I thought everything in India would be saffron and spices. Perhaps the British shoulders brought lavender with them so that they could smell the gardens too. Yeah. Do you think that the soldiers would be homesick? Of course, soldiers must be very brave and bear all sorts of dangers and hardships. But that doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. Yeah. Yes, PTSD is a real thing. And we must be brave too, even when we are far from the homes and the people that we love. A carriage passed alongside Miss Minchin's school as they walked, smoothly packed to the walls with children, 8 of them, siblings all, and such a giggling mass of blonde curls and rosy cheeks as Sarah had never seen before. Their merriment was infectious, and Sarah found that a smile had come unexpectedly to her face. Oh, maybe it's like an orphanage? The music changed a lot. Damn, okay. As such, it came to a slight shock when the carriage moved alongside and revealed a sight of previously hidden on the other side of the street. A little bit. Oh, okay, this is not it. Okay. On the other side is a little bigger child in a heap of rags, too dirty for Sarah to tell if it was a boy or a girl. Pricked by the sight, Sarah stepped out of line and carried her little coin purse to the child. Sarah, wait, where are you going? Here's the 6pence. Go and buy yourself something warm. She hurried back into formation, but not before her steps were noticed by Miss Minchin. Sarah Crew, you may stay in line. If you go rushing off, you will put yourself at risk. I should not like to tell your father that you were struck down by a cab horse in the road. I only wish to. Generosity is a virtue, but not wise or safe to come in close contact with creatures of the street. What the fuck? You must be careful to clean yourself thoroughly when we return to the school. Clean yourself, dude. She literally just handed them, I don't know if it's like a boy or girl, but just handed them some money. Miss Minchin. Sarah looked back, but the beggar child already disappeared from sight. How strange that one child should be hungry and dirty on the streets while other rides in a fine carriage and knows nothing but joy and laughter. All these things happen quite by accident, because by the way, we are born. Yes! Okay. I'm assuming I need more belief, but which one's belief? It was this one? Okay. I also need sympathy. Yeah, because the heart was sympathy one, right? Yeah, okay. So that's what I need the most. I also need knowledge, but I can do that later. Okay, we're good. That's fine. I wanted the other one. There we go. Perfect. Double all. Let's go. Wait, I thought it said double all of it. I guess it doesn't work like that. Oh well. Oh, maybe it's double all the ones I get. I guess that's how it works. Even from distance, there was no mistaking Lottie's shrill little voice. Yeah, it was the little girl, okay. I want to hold the kitty. Don't be ridiculous. Ooh, a catware. Sarah came into the room to find Lavinia primly in a window seat, looking down at the smaller child whose lips was beginning to wobble. Tybalt, Tybalt is the cat, okay. Tybalt is in my lap, and he is perfectly content here. Listen, you can hear him purr. That is because I'm stroking him, and he likes me. I want to hold the kitty. Perhaps his sticky little fingers. Oh, keep your sticky little fingers away from his fur. Lottie's brow furrowed in fierce determination. Ignoring Lavinia's command, she reached out to pick up the cat. Wait, did I not choose which event to do this time? Lavinia slapped Lottie's hand away. Oh, what a bitch. Aww. The sudden movement jostled Tobot out of his comfortable doze. With a parting squeeze of his claws, he lit from Lavinia's leg and hurried out of the room. Now look what you've done, you little brat. He scratched me, and if he's damaged my dress... It scratched you because you're mean. You wouldn't even let me touch it. It isn't fair. It isn't. A cat is not a rag doll. You should not snatch and tug at it as you please, or it will bite your hand. Is it too difficult for a child of 8 to understand? Okay, so she's 8. Then I'm assuming the other girls are at least 12. At least 12. My guess is that they're either like 13 or 14. Is she gonna cry? No. She cannot help being younger any more than we can help being older. If she is 8, she is 8. She will be 9 the next year, and 10 the next after that. And 10 after that. In 12 years, she will be 20, and that is quite grand. Dear me, how can we calculate? I don't want to be 20. You will be when you are. You won't be while you aren't. So there's no reason to want or not to want. No. Be quiet or I should slap your face. You mustn't. Oh my god. Lottie looked into Lavinia's blazing eyes and she ran from the room, wailing at the unfairness of it all. You ought to not baby her, Sarah. You must learn that she can't have everything her own way. Privately, Sarah thought that Lottie was not the only student at the school who might need to learn that lesson. Ba-ba-ba-bum. There we go. Got it. That afternoon, Okay, there we go. I chose the wrong one. Okay. Ermengrade sat contentedly on the floor of Sarah's room, listening to her read from one of her storybooks. And then he offered to take her away to his father's court, where he would make her his bride. The maiden adored the prince, whose company had charmed her for so many hours, but she could not bear to leave her sisters without first telling them farewell. She bade the prince to leave and return again the next day to the place in the woods where they had met. Sarah did not read her the words exactly as they were written, but put her own little touches upon the story to make them turn out the way that she preferred. It was not quite the same as telling her own stories, but Ermengrade still seemed nervous at the ideas of stories that had not come from books at all. It was the first step. Once he had gone, she rushed back to her home to take up her work at the wheel, planning to spin twice as fast, covered for her absence. But when she sat down at the wheel, she was dismayed to find that her magic gold thread had lost all of its brightness. Her heart beat fast, and she wept bitterly for she remembered her mother's warning and knew not what misfortune might now befall her. She was so afraid that she would be punished for what she had done that she ran away without telling anyone what had happened, not even her beloved sisters. She ran through the woods looking for her prince, but he was on a horseback and long since gone. Oof. And while she ran, she did not watch where she was going, and so she tripped over a root and fell into the rushing river, disappearing into the swift current. Thus the misfortune was complete. Wait, that she died? What? She drowned! Not quite. Sarah continued her story, how the maiden was transformed into a golden water lily who sang in her sorrows, and how she was last restored to life by the love of her sisters. Oh. Ermengarde. Oh my god. Ermengarde. Yeah, I said I was gonna go with that. Ermengarde sighed in contentment. When I hear stories in your voice, I can only see them happen. You're much better than books. But what about the prince? Doesn't he marry her in the end? He rode over a bridge by the river and heard her singing, but he didn't do anything to save her. What? It was her sisters who loved her enough to look for her when she was lost. I thought princesses were always heroes. Anyone could be a hero in the right circumstances. I don't think I could. Ermengarde. Oh my god. Why is that name so difficult for me? Ermengarde. Oh my. Ermengarde. Ermengarde looked around Sarah's room, decorated as it was with the best of at least 3 countries: dependable England, refined France, and exotic India. Do you miss being in India, Sarah? Yes, of course. It was my home, and I was happy there. I had my horse and my pets and my Aya. And skies that were never foggy and grey like they are here in London. I loved living there. But I love it most of all because it is where my papa will be. Ermengarde saw Sarah's face suddenly change. A cloud seemed to pass over it and put out the light in her shining eyes. She drew her breath in so sharply that it made a funny little sound, sad little sound, and then she shut her lips and held them tightly closed, as if she was determined either to do or not do something. Have you a pain? There was a moment of silence in which Ermengarde worried that she might have spoken out of turn, but at last Sarah answered, "Yes, but it is not in my body." What? Yes, but it is not in my body. Her voice was low and somewhat unsteady. Do you love your father more than anything else in all the world? Ermengarde's mouth fell open a little. She knew that it would not be correct for a respectable child at a selected seminary to say that she did not adore her father, could not imagine being even so much as fond of him. Ooh. I scarcely ever see him. In fact, she did her very best to avoid being left alone in his company for more than a few minutes. Don't like him much then. It was not a proper feeling for a daughter, perhaps, and it was clearly not something that Sarah would understand. Ermengarde was indeed greatly embarrassed. He is always in the library, reading things. There was a wealth of information in that statement. If Sarah had been incited to decipher it... If Sarah had been incited to decipher it... What? Oh, yeah. If Sarah had been incited to decipher it, but she was too preoccupied with her own feelings. I love mine more than all the world 10 times over. That's what my pain is. He's gone away. She put her head quietly down on her little huddled up knees and sat very still for a few minutes. Ooh. Ermengarde had an idea that if she had been like any other girl, Sarah might have suddenly burst out sobbing or crying, but she did not. Her short black locks tumbled about her ears and she sat still. Then she spoke without lifting her head. I promised that I would bear it, and I will. I have to bear things. You have to bear things. Papa's he's a soldier. Oh. Huh. I don't know what I thought he was, but I guess he is. Papa is a soldier, and I think what soldiers bear. If there was a war, he would have to bear marching and thirstiness and perhaps deep wounds, and he would never say a word, not one word. Ermengarde could only gaze at Sarah, but she felt that she was beginning to adore her. She was so wonderful and different from everyone else. Presently, Sarah lifted her face and shook back her black locks with a queer little smile. If I go talking, I shall bear it better. But you don't forget. You don't forget, but you bear it better. Yeah. I will talk to you as much as you like, if it helps you. Yeah. No, week. I wonder how many weeks it is, actually. Would you like to sit in front of the mirror while I brush your hair, mademoiselle? Oh, no. I don't think so. Not by the mirror. You see, it is nice to sit and think while you run the brush through my hair. Sometimes I remember stories or think of things I want to say to someone else. Other times it helps me relax. It must be like that for Tybalt when someone is petting him. But if I were looking into a mirror, then Sarah in the mirror would be looking back at me. And we should have to pay attention to each other, or else we might be thought impolite. I'm guessing it's a joke, yeah. Mariette laughed at the back of her throat. That is as you wish. I had thought of doing something different with her hair, and if you could see then you would know more quickly. If you thought, what? Yes, I know I could change it if you did. I thought of doing something different with your hair, and if you could see, then you would know more quicker if you thought yes or no, and I could change it if you did not like it. Well, I think it's better to look at it when it's finished. If you stop reading a book in the middle, you might have the wrong idea of what it's all about. Then I will show you once I am done. Mary is so kind. I would be terribly lonely in these rooms without her. The school is full of other girls, but they are, like me, guests of Miss Minchin. We live in the same house, but they are not part of my household. Mary is the only person who belongs to me. Word choice. It is nice to sit and think while she brushes my hair, and she has a better way with it than my old Aya did. But I do miss my papa so. If he were coming to visit me, as some girls' parents do, how happy my life would be. I wonder where my papa is right now. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to speak. No, it is good, Madame Lucy. You should speak your thoughts. Your father sailed many weeks ago. By now he is in India, yes? Home and safe, thinking how different the houses seem without your footsteps. I don't want to think of him sad and lonely. It is right that he misses you and that you miss him. That is how things should be, but that does not mean your life is nothing but sadness, does it? No, I do not think I am melancholy. Yep. I would not wish to be. I enjoy my books and friends. So you see, your papa, he will be lonely, but he will also feel other things. He will live his life, but he will think of you. I believe you will hear from him soon. Oh, I hope you're right. No, you must be right. My papa will write me letters as soon as the ships can carry them. Oh, that must have taken a long ass time in the past. God damn. And I will treasure his words. And I do hope that my papa has a friend to care for him, as Marriott cares for me. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. What the hell's wrong with my belief? Why is it at 0? Wait, do the points get used? I think they do. Then I'm gonna need more of that. All of them, right, diary? Whatever. That's fine. Give me that belief. Let's go. Another one. Yeah. And another one. Nah. No patience? Okay. My patience is pretty high anyways. Perfect. Starting to get that stats pretty nice. While Sarah was walking through the school, she heard a great commotion coming from a nearby room. The first high-pitched shriek made her startle, concerned that one of the young girls might have injured herself. Sarah was a quiet and solemn girl herself, but made no judgment against those whose temperaments led them to cry out loudly when they were in pain. However, the wailing went on and on, more angry than miserable, and the voice was recognizably Lottie's. Sarah came close and began to make out the companion of a frustrated adult that had been drowned out by childish tantrum. What are you crying for? There is nothing wrong with you. Oh, I haven't got any. Mama. Stop crying for heaven's sake. I haven't got any. Ma. You ought to be whipped. You ought to be whipped. You shall be whipped if you do not hush, you naughty child. Lottie wailed more loudly than ever. Miss Minchin emerged from the room, her hands pressed on the sides of her head, and paused when she saw Sarah's lingering outside. Oh, dear Sarah. Miss Minchin attempted at producing a friendly smile. Miss Minchin's attempt at producing a friendly smile was not at all convincing. Lottie's roars continued unabated, and each burst of sound made Miss Minchin's shoulders twitch. I stopped because I knew it was Lottie, and I thought perhaps I could make her be quiet. May I try, Miss Minchin? If you can quiet that, you are a clever child. Dreadful thing. We may not be able to keep her. But you are very clever in everything, my dear. I dare say you can manage her. Go in. When Sarah entered the room, Lottie was lying on the floor, screaming, kicking her small fat legs violently. Sarah stood by a howling furious child for a few minutes and looked down at her without saying anything. Then she sat down on the floor beside her and waited. Except for Lottie's angry screams, the room was quite quiet. This was a new state of affairs for Lottie, who had been accustomed to hear other people protest and implore and command to hoax her by turns. To find out the only person near her did not seem to mind in the least how she kicked and screamed unusual, it made it necessary for her to pause her sobbing in order to see what was going on. She opened her tight shut streaming eyes to see who this person was, and found that it was only another little girl, but it was the only one who owned Emily. Who owned Emily in all... What? Oh yeah, the one who owned Emily, which is the doll. And the one who owned Emily in all the nice things. Sarah looked at Lottie quite curiously, but said nothing. Lottie sucked up a gulp of air, but the noise she made sounded rather half-hearted. I haven't any mama. Neither have I. Oh, that's sad. Lottie blinked rapidly at this unexpected answer. Her legs and arms ceased their kicking and lay flat against the floor. Where is your mama? She went to heaven, but I'm sure she comes out sometimes to see me, though I don't see her. So does yours. Perhaps they both see us now. Perhaps they are both in this room. Here? Oh no. Lottie sat bolt upright and looked around. Seeing nothing, her face began to scrunch up again. We can't see the people who live in heaven, even when they come to visit us. They travel like wind or sunlight. You can only feel them for a moment if they touch you, and then they're gone. They can go anywhere in an instant, but most of the time, they stay up above. Their land is full of lilies, fields of lilies, and when the soft wind blows over them, it wafts the scent of them into the air. And everyone always breathes it, because that soft wind is always blowing. Wind and sunlight, the streets are always shining. And little children run about in the lily fields and gather arms full of them, and laugh and make little wreaths to wear on their heads, or spin cloaks and dresses of soft lily petals. The petals never go dry or brown, but when the children grow tired of them, they toss the petals into the air and they turn into clouds. Lottie had by now quite forgotten to cry, and was leaning forward, hanging on every word that Sarah spoke. In the shining city, people are never tired, however far they walk. They can float anywhere they like. And there are walls made of pearl and gold all around the city, but they are low enough for the people to go and lean on them. And they look down to the earth and smile. For these walls, sometimes they dance down to visit us. Other times they whisper beautiful messages into the wind and hope that someday we will hear them. I want to go there. I haven't any mama here. Sarah saw the danger signal and took hold of Lotie's hands. Lotie's hands with a coaxing little laugh. I will be your mom in this school. We will play that you are my little girl, and Emily shall be your sister. Shall she? Yes. Let us go and tell her, and then I will wash your face and brush your hair, and both of us will have a little bit more family. Aw, that's nice. Patience. Good thing I got that. Damn it. The last one hasn't been unlocked. Why? This time it was Sarah who's curled up near a window when Ermengarde found her. Sarah, I wanted to ask you something if you're not busy. Sarah raised her head and smiled. Only Ermengarde would realize that I might be busy when I'm sitting and thinking. You can always ask me things. She paused, then added, I can't always answer though. I might not know. Well, is it true that Miss Minchin has you to tea with visitors just so you can speak French for them? Oh, well, I don't know if that's the only reason. I often do not say very much, and she still keeps me there for the rest of it. Some of her visitors are not very interested in French at all. Some of them prefer poetry or want to tell me how they themselves saw India once upon a time. But sometimes, yes, Miss Minchin gets to speak French and wishes me to converse with them. You really can't speak it then, not only just a few words or a sentence you memorize. Ermengarde's respectful tone made Sarah feel a bit off balance. She tucked up her feet, sat with her hands clasped around her knees. I can speak it because I've heard it all my life. You can speak it too, if you had always heard it. Oh no, I couldn't. I could never speak it. Why not? Ermengarde, oh my god. Ermengarde shook her head so that her pigtails wobbled. You have heard me before. I'm always like that. I just can't say the words. They're so queer. I dare say that little French girls think the same things about English if they tried to learn the language for the first time. But if you had heard it as a child. But I did. My father, he speaks 7 languages, or maybe even 8. I forgot. I forget everything. I always have. But my father never forgets. He has libraries with thousands of volumes in them, and he knows every one of them by heart. He says that when I was very young, he used to speak to me in different languages every day because he hoped that I would learn them all, but it only made me cry. My nurse made him stop because she was afraid that he would confuse me so much that I would give up on talking altogether. I heard it from her that he says that I am a severe trial because he is so very clever that I am noticeably and unmistakably dull. Aw. But the monumental dunes of the school. I can't speak French. I can't recite poems without flubbing the words. My handwriting is too big and lumpy. I can't calculate quickly. I can't keep my king straight. I'm not good at anything. But you are clever, aren't you, Sarah? The question was asked with a touch of awe in her voice, but made Sarah feel slightly odd to the subject of such open admiration. Sarah looked out the window, into the dingy square where the sparrows were hopping and twittering on the wet iron railings and the sooty branches of trees, and reflected a few moments. People have often said that I am clever, but am I? And if I am, then how did I come to be that way? I don't know, I can't tell. I think you are. I think that you are. Yep. I think you're wonderful. Ermengarde did not know why a lump came into her throat and her eyes felt as if tears were coming in them. Lavinia and Jessie are the best friends. I wish we could be best friends. You're clever and I'm the stupidest child in the school. What? But I do so like you. I'm glad of that. It makes you thankful when you are here, when you are liked. What? Makes you thankful when you are liked. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm glad of that. It makes you thankful when you are liked. She stood up from the window and took Ermengarde's hands in hers. Yes, we will be friends. The very best of friends. And I'll tell you what else. A sudden gleam lit her face. I can help you with your French lessons. You can try. Oh. Girls, gather round if you please. We'll be welcoming a special dance instructor today who is visiting us from France. She will be leading you in exercises to increase your grace and posture. Go and change into your leotard-style dancing costumes. Do they even have costumes? She swept off to her office and the girls clustered eagerly together. A special dance instructor? Do you suppose she might be from the Ballet de l'Opéra de Paris? The Ballet of Opry? The Paris Opera Ballet, of course. The absolute birthplace of romantic ballet. And they go all the way back to the court of the Sun King. Oh, I'm not so fond of ballet as you are. No one is as fond of ballet as Jessie is. It is a sickness with her. I wonder if there really is a sickness that can make you like one thing or another person. One thing or one person more than another. And if there were, would anyone wish to be cured? Such things you imagine. If any event, it might not be ballet. She is a special instructor after all. Perhaps she will be permitted to practice social dances. Perhaps even waltz. My father says the waltz is shocking. Watching you attempt the performance will no doubt be... Oh no, what a dick. Watching you attempt to perform it no doubt would be... If we are allowed the waltz, I will be the one dancing with Jessie. Oh. Perhaps we had better go and get our costumes. Ermengarde is very sensible. It only took as little praise as that to make Miss St. John look pleased. Yeah. The dancing lesson did not progress quite as anyone expected. What do you mean? I do not see how this can be described as dancing. What the fuck? It is preparation for dancing, and we are learning to stretch and relax our bodies so that we may move more beautifully. It's French. Sarah, is this the way things are usually done in France? I've never asked Mariette where she took dancing lessons. I want to walk on my what? I want to walk on my hands. Leave your hands on the floor long enough and Ermengarde will trot on them for you. Ah, Jessie, be careful, you're tickling me. The instructor said it was imperative that we rub deeply to warm our muscles. To speak of muscle upon a lady is very unseemly. Your hands are very strong, Ermengarde. Oh, did I hurt you? No, not a bit. It feels nice. It's like having my hair brushed. It makes me feel like a cat being petted. I want to be a cat. I want to dance like a cat. Cats don't dance. They dance at the court of the king's cats. How do they dance, Sarah? Do they stand on their hind legs? Well, girls, cease chattering and get ready for your lesson. Yes, Minchin. Miss Minchin. Okay, let's see. I may need some patience. Where did I get patience from? From writing in a diary? Okay, then that's good. I need belief, so that too. I may need some vigor, actually. Reading, no, dance practice. Okay. So I may need some belief. Hopefully I can get some patience from these. Let's try this because I actually want some vigor just in case. Yeah, this should be fine. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Writing. There we go. Got some sympathy. There's the patience. And a bit more. Nice. Okay, so 2 patience, 4 belief. Oh, I just need patience now. Nice. Are you well, ma petite? Ma petite? Yes, I am only feeling a little tired. Days have been growing warmer, but the air never feels the same the way it did in India. I suppose Ermengarde is right, and it is the smell of London. Even if I cannot distinguish one scent above the other, that would mean London. It must always be there. As am I. Bon courage, mademoiselle. I have something here which will brighten your day. A letter from Papa. Oh, merci, Mariette, merci. By coup. She did not open it at once, but pressed the envelope to her chest. My Papa sent this. It has been in his hands. If a letter has come from his hands into mine, then we are never so far apart. At last he took out the paper and began to read. My dear little Missus, here I am. No, I won't do that. Here I am once again in Mumbai, yeah. In Mumbai, I have little to tell you of my adventures, for no sooner did I reach my home than I began thinking of you putting pen to paper. Therefore, I have seen little since I left you in other than ships, and you remember those. Sarah closed her eyes and let herself remember the voyage from India. The big ship, the Lascars. I don't know what that is. The Lascars passing silently to and fro on it, the children playing about the hot deck. There had been women on board, the wives of some young officers who had invited Sarah to take tea with them and delighted in making her speak her unusual thoughts. But most importantly, there had been her Papa. Oh yeah. I felt it was important to write you at once so that you would not worry about your poor old Papa. all alone in the ocean. All is well. I am returned, and life here is remarkably unchanged in my absence. Now it is your duty to let me know all that has happened since I left you. All the new friends you have made, the books you have read, and the sights you have seen in London. Do you remember Colonel Grange? Whatever. And his little girl, Isabel? In a year, she will be old enough that she must leave for England as well. I'm relying on you. Oh, she's probably the one that's the last one. She will be old enough that she must leave for England as well. I'm relying on your advice to tell her what to expect in her schooling. Give my regards to Emily and any companions she may have acquired. Yours always, your loving Papa. Sarah held her letter in her hands, already beginning to imagine the many things she might write in response. I love you too, Papa. For artistry and for grace. For vigor. Yeah, let's continue this one. Sarah and Ermengarde walked through the halls of Miss Minchin's together, hand in hand. Dancing lessons. She sighed noisily, her shoulders rising and falling. I wish that being hopeless at books meant that I was good at something else instead. My father wouldn't be happy if I were only good at dancing, but at least Miss Minchin wouldn't look at me so disapprovingly. But it is only something else for me to fail at. I feel so heavy and graceless compared to the other girls. She is heavier than the other girls, but she isn't graceless. I think you move very well. You are always in time with the music. Lavinia isn't. Let's go. But I don't look right when I move my arms, and the dance masters always frown at me. Jessie's the best one of us. Is the best of us. She looks like a flower in the breeze, like a gloriosa lily. Yeah, because its petals are long and red and wavy like her hair. You tell us that we should try to move like a field of celandines. I actually want to know. It sounds like a flower. Let's Google that. Mr. Google, help me out. Celandines. Cool.
Celandines.
Celandines. Okay. Like sardines? Okay. Celandines. Like celandines. I never feel like a celandine. I know what celandine looks like, and I am not one. They reached Sarah's room and took seats upon the bed. What is a celandine? I don't know. I don't think we had them in India. Oh, a little yellow flower. That's a lesser celandine. They're not very tall, but the flowers are very bright, and lots of yellow petals like this. She held up her hands, curling her fingers around. They come up early in the spring. They grow in great bunches in the woods all over the ground, mostly leaves, but with little bright dots of flowers. The other kind is taller. Their flowers are yellow too. Bright. The other kind is taller. Their flowers are yellow too. Bright yellow, but they only have 4 petals. Yeah, I saw that, yeah. I may have seen those, I'm not sure. What flowers grow wild in India? Oh, many kinds. Tall spikes covered with purple orchids that nod down. Flowers with petals pink as lips that grow straight up from the ground with no stems. I don't know all their names. I wish you could have brought some with you. If I had picked flowers in India before I left, they would have died and fallen apart on the ship. Dude, that must have been a long ass journey. God damn. Ermengarde hung her head. I'm sorry, it was a stupid idea. No, I wish I could have brought you flowers to see them as well. Perhaps someday I will learn to draw and paint with watercolors. Then I could make pictures of flowers so that I can bring them to show you. Doop. Can you draw? I don't know. She held out her hands in front of her, examining the stubby fingers and short, blunt nails. And their short, blunt nails. I wouldn't expect that I can. Your hands are so delicate, Sarah. That's the way a lady's hands should be. Sarah pressed her palm against Ermengarde. I almost fucked up that again. Her fingers seemed almost like the same length, but more narrow. Well, Emily's fingers are much rounder and shorter than yours, and she is still a lady. Your hands are stronger than mine, and I'm sure there are many things your hands can do that mine can't. But you can do everything. Sarah's eyes took on a mischievous glint. Only magic can do everything. Imagine what I could do with this school if I really could do everything. Hist! I think I hear Sarah coming. Quickly, step aside. Don't let her see us. What are they doing? But what? Shh! Lavinia took hold of her friend's shoulders and pushed her back against the wall. Wait a moment. There, she's gone. Why are we avoiding Sarah? Ever since she got that letter, it's been nothing but any of this, any of that. If they have to hear... If I have to hear her say that word again, I'm afraid the hair will fly right off my head. I like her stories. Do you know her father has faced down a tiger? What the fuck? He shot the one whose skin Sarah has in her room. God damn! That's why she likes it so. She lies on it and strokes its head, and it talks to it as if it were a cat. That is simply disgusting. If I were a cat, it would be the one that he had killed. What? It would be one that he had killed. What next? Would she drown Tybalt and then have him stuffed for a pillow? I don't think it's the same thing at all. Sarah says the tiger was attacking an outpost and he had to shoot it. Okay. Sarah tells stories, you know that. Well, I think her father sounds very interesting, and so does India. It's a filthy, disgusting place, rank with foul humors, and don't you forget it. Come along now. Alright. Lavinia led and Jessie followed. So I need grace, artistry, and patience. Don't need vigor. I got enough sympathy. Maybe this one? Yeah, I think this one would help a lot. What else? Grace, grace, grace. I really need the patience though. Where do I get that the most from? From writing in a diary? For now, let's go with this. Since... yeah, that should be fine. Actually, no. Instead of that, let's try this. There we go. Where is it? There we go. Let's go. I didn't need that, but whatever. I need the other one. Fuck. Yeah, give me that patience. Great. No, let's believe and sympathy, which I don't need. There we go. Yeah, I didn't get any artistry. That sucks. Oh. Ermengarde. Yeah. What do you have there? A new book? The plump girl sighed, showing none of the delight Sarah would have found in such a possession. My father sent it to me to be enriching. I don't see how books have made me any richer so far. May I see it? She took the volume from Ermengarde's hands and examined the gold lettering on the cover. Poems Antiques by Le Comte de Lisle? book of French poetry. Sarah's excitement only deepened the other girl's dismay. Would you like me to read it with you? I'm certain that if... What's this? Oh, Sarah, you have a new book? French poetry? Very improving. As long as it isn't one of those shocking new decadent poets. A proper lady should not read such works. I'm sure it's nothing of the sort. What would you know about it? I was speaking to Sarah. Actually, the book belongs to Ermengarde. What? Don't be silly. She can't even read it. Ermengarde grabbed the book. It's mine. Oh, what? She turned and walked away. You ought to not tease her so. I didn't say anything that isn't true. What good is a book of French poetry to someone like her? Such a waste. She'll probably never even open it. She should have simply given it to you. Admit it, you know that I'm right. You may be right, but it was a gift from her father. I'm sure she will treasure it. Not every girl is as devoted as her father as you seem to be, Sarah Crew. Fight. Week 9? Whoa, what's wrong with that? Why does it say week 9? Oh, it's until the next one. No. Well, let's go with Marinette, because she's frankly lovely. Sarah was seated comfortably in the classroom, gazing at the window and thinking. It was not that the seat itself was so comfortable. The long-form benches of the schoolroom were chosen for function and ease of use, not for gently cushioning the tender bottoms of schoolgirls. Whoa. Sarah's own cozy little parlor contained far more comfortable places to sit than the classroom or even the dining room at Miss Minchin's. However, sometimes a change of scenery was more conducive to clear thinking. There was something interesting about being in a classroom where all the other students had gone. I agree. Is it still a classroom if there's no class inside it? Wow! My brain just exploded. Wow. And yet it was not... Wait, did I not choose... I thought I chose... her. Sarah laid on a bed, resting her cheek against a cool fabric leather pillow. The light of the mid-morning sun gleamed where it touched the surfaces in the room, gilding them with a fairy's brush. Perhaps if I lay long enough, I will catch sight of a fairy coming to visit me. Oh, how's that? The next face she saw was not that of a visiting fairy. Do you wish to catch your dreams, mademoiselle? I shall leave you to sleep. Oh, what the? I've tried in the past to go back into the same dream, but it never seems to work. Or if it does work, I can't remember it. Saying, you don't always remember in your dreams. In dreams. She shifted position, curling onto her side. I just don't feel like getting up today, I'm sorry. Let me see. She laid her dark hands against Sarah's forehead. You may be a little warm. I cannot tell. Does your throat hurt? No, I'm only tired. It is better to prevent than to heal. I will fetch you some porridge and salt water. She bustled out of the room, leaving Sarah to contemplate in silence. I do hope I'm not ill. It would be most unpleasant. I do not quite feel ill. As long as I think nice thoughts and don't feel ill, then I'm not ill. I think. It don't work like that. Many young people will have difficulty remaining in their beds all day unless they were too ill to do so otherwise. It was easier for Sarah, who enjoyed spinning fancies in her mind. I do not truly need to leave my bed in order to play out stories. In fact, with Mariette to bring me food, I might never need to leave these rooms at all. Like a princess bricked up in a tall tower, the prisoner of a wicked regent, who means for her to be forgotten so that he can steal her kingdom in peace. She would be diligent at her studies, even within her tiny room, so that one day when she was rescued or escaped, she would be ready to take back her rightful lands. That was a diverting fantasy, but it led Sarah to more practical curiosity. There was, after all, someone close to her who did spend most of her days within these rooms. When Mary returned, With her tray of tonics, Sarah asked, Mariette, what do you do during these days while I'm away? Since she was my maid and not Miss Minchkin's, she should not be made to do other work. But she is always here when I need her, so she must not go anywhere else. Oh, many things. She set the tray down. Look over your wardrobe and check for anything that might need mending. I might do a bit of embroidery on my own. And I do read your books. Oh, that's nice. That is how you wished it, yes? I have nothing to ask each time, so no, I'm glad that someone else reads them. I have many books, and some of them I only read once, and I worry that they might feel neglected. Sarah looked down on the room at all the pretty things, the gifts of her papa. They were all precious to her, but if you wish to, it is all right if you play with my toys while I am in classes. I know that I can trust you not to break them, but please make sure to leave Emily a bit of private time when no one is watching her so that she can sleep and relax. If Mariette wished to laugh, she was too polite to do so. Merci, mademoiselle. Now sit up if you please, and have a bit of breakfast. If you are too weak, then I shall have to spoon the porridge onto you myself. I'm well, I'm wonderfully well. She laughed, for it was true. She did feel better. Nice. Yeah, she's really nice. I like her a lot. Oh, more. Mariette, are you... Oh, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you. It is quite alright. Are you reading? Wait, that book. I've seen it before. Oh, it was the same familiar copy of Poems Antiques. Your friend... Aw, what? She didn't keep it? Your friend Ermengarde St. John made a gift of it to me. She thought I might appreciate the volume de Poésie Française to feel more at home. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't think of it. Would you like me to buy you more books in French? I don't mind. No, mademoiselle, I am content. But it was very kindly thought of Ermengarde's for such a young Ermengarde's. For such a young girl who doesn't think of a maid who was not in her employ, many would not. Ermengarde is very nice. Ermengarde. Oh, I can't. That last name. That name. Oh my god. I did not even consider it yet. I wanted that book for myself, but Ermengarde has seen the person who would benefit from it most. So that happened. Let's see. So I need artistry regardless. So playing with toys. If I get the first one, it would be nice. So I need vigor and artistry. Is there anything like that around here? Which one gives me a good amount of artistry? Let's see. Patience. Grace. Yeah, I think practicing dance is optimal. Yeah. Write in diary. Wait, I should probably just do this. Yeah. There you go. Let's see. Let's go. Nothing? Nice. Perfect. Tuesday. Perfect. And then the double. Yeah, let's go. Oh, I'm almost filled up. Sarah was resting in her room with a book when there came a quiet knock on the door. Sarah, Mama? What is it, Lodi? Have you come for tea? Mary has promised us a special treat. Apricot sandwiches. Oh, yes. No. What? Sarah, Mama, you like school, don't you? I don't know. It was something that had previously spent a great deal of time deciding. It wasn't something she had previously spent a great deal of time deciding. After all, whether I like it or not, I am here now. I don't think I could say that I don't like it. Everyone is kind to me and my rooms are pleasant. No, I mean school. With books and numbers and remembering things. Oh yes, I like books very much. Could you help me with my lessons? Because it's hard to pay attention and when Miss Minchin scolds me. And then Miss Minchin scolds me. I don't like it when she says my name like that. Miss Lai, I don't like it. But you make everything interesting. Of course, I'll help you with your schoolwork, but you still have to learn it. Alright. Let's see. Event expired? That's strange. Let's go with... Let's go with this one. Oh Sarah, look what I have. Ermengarde knocked rapidly on Sarah's door with one hand while the other pinned the treasure against her chest. When Sarah opened the door, she was surprised to see her friend clean with such enthusiasm to what appeared to be a pair of books. Certainly books that would be worthy of Sarah's excitement, but in Ermengarde's hands they seem more commonly to be useless weights tying her down. Your father sent you something else? Oh no, these aren't for my father. May I come in? Of course. She held out her arm an elegant invitation, a hostess in miniature. I'll have Mariette fetch you some tea and cakes. Oh, no cake for me, please. She ducked her head as she walked into Sarah. Ducked her head? How small are the doors? What? Maybe I'm missing something, huh? She ducked her head as she walked into Sarah's room, then again to nod a hello at Mariette. It's just that my mother is always sending me hampers of sweets, and even if I don't want them, I'd rather have bread and butter, if that's alright. Yeah, bread and butter. Of course it is. I return shortly, mademoiselle. Sarah pulled out a chair for Ermengarde, who was still cradling her burden. Are those books something your mother sent then? No, these are from my mother's sister, my aunt Eliza. Oh, whatever. She lives in the countryside. She never married, so she inherited my mother's parents' property, and she lives there alone, except when she visits my mother. My father doesn't like her very much, because she doesn't agree with him about the Irish home rule, and she wasn't very clever at school either. She thinks he is a bad influence. I like her. I wish she were always visiting. When I go home, my father is always asking me things like, when did Edward III ascend the throne? And who died of surfeit of lampreys? I have no idea what that phrase was. And then my mother says, Dear me, Ermengarde, you are very fat in size. So Ermengarde, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong now that I think of it. Let me check. Ermengarde. Pronunciation.
Ermengarde.
Oh, I was saying it right this whole time.
Ermengarde. Ermengarde.
Let's go. Ermengarde. Wait, what is it though? Ermengarde is Ermengarde of Hesbaye. Ermengarde of Hesbaye, probably a member of the Robertian dynasty. Robertian dynasty was a empress. So the name of a past empress. So it's not like an actual object or something. Cool. this shit's too bright. And then Mother says, "Dear me, Ermengarde, oh yeah, I already said that. Aunt Liza takes me riding and talks about the hunt, and Rover and Skipper, her dogs, and her gardens. She sent me these." Ermengarde laid out 2 volumes for Sarah's eyes. No, there was only one cloth-bound volume. The other, though similar size and shape, was in fact a pair of wooden blocks wrapped around with leather straps. It is for flower pressing. You press the flowers tightly between wood blocks and squeeze out all the water inside them. If you put a sheet of paper inside, sometimes the petals will color it, like a print. When the flowers are dry and flat, you can frame them or even stick them to the pages of the book with some egg white. See, she sent some pansies for a start. Ermengarde spread open the pages of her book and Sarah bent her dark head to take a closer look. Oh, you can still see all the little veins in the petals. If you dry them, when you press them, they don't shrivel up. What a charming hobby. Your aunt is very wise. It's good to know that Ermengarde does have a relative she is fond of. If you had a flower press then when you were in India, then you could have saved some. Oh yeah, true that. When I go back there after I finish school, I will have to press flowers and mail them to you. Go back? It had not occurred to Ermengarde until this moment that Sarah saw her life in England as nothing but a temporary sojourn. Yes, I must return to my papa. I miss him dreadfully. Then I will never see you again? Oh. Sarah as well had not entirely considered the consequences of developing friendships at Miss Minchin's and then returning to her home so many hundreds of miles away. It was one thing to think of those whom she loved and missed, but another to consider that she herself would be missed quite strongly. If the look in Ermengarde do that name, bro. Ermengarde's eyes wasn't anything to judge by. Well, once I am an adult, I will be able to travel, and if I please, I see no reason why I couldn't come back to England once in a while. She reached over and touched Ermengarde's hand. If you are waiting for me here, then I will always come back. Ermengarde breathed out a sigh of relief. It would be dreadful if you were gone forever. At that moment, Mariette arrived at last with the tea, and Ermengarde's flower book had to be carefully set aside. Oh god. Girls, gather around if you please. As the weather is particularly pleasant today, we will be taking carriages to the park for extended riding lessons. Please dress up accordingly. Oh, thank goodness, it's been too long. I've never really cared for horses. It is fashionable and ladies should know at least the basics, but it's simply not comfortable. Do you ride, Sarah? I would not truly say that I ride, but I have met horses, and I have been in the saddle once or twice. Well, I'm sure you'll learn everything after all. I do try. I like riding. I wish we could go further than the park, though. It is more pleasant to be on horseback in the countryside. Oh, I agree. It is much lovelier. Imagine being on horseback, galloping across the wild moors, long hair streaming behind you like a warrior queen of old. Riding and strut like some hoyden? I don't know what the hell a hoyden is. Even Boadicea rode in a chariot. I think I should like a chariot. Just then, the discussions were interrupted by a sound of a wailing child. Miss Minchin was attempting to bring little Lottie together with the older girls, much to her displeasure. I won't go! What a ridiculous noise you are making. Stop that at once. I shan't! You're more than old enough to begin learning. Every student in school is expected to. I hate horses. I won't. Oh! Flinching and covering her ears with her hair, the other girls slipped away to change into riding dress. Only Sarah remained. If you won't behave, you shall be whipped, just as the horse would be. God damn. No! To Sarah's surprise, Lottie suddenly broke free of Miss Minchin's and rushed to Sarah, carrying behind her and pressing a red face into the fabric of Sarah's dress. Is this more than just a tantrum? Miss Minchin, please, could you let me talk to her alone? Dear Sarah, you are very kind, but we simply do not have time for these shenanigans. If you can make her mind swiftly, then do so, but it must be done. Shaking her head, she walked away. Lottie wiped her grubby hands across her face. Her shrieks had quieted, but her eyes were still little fountains. Lottie, are you afraid of horses? Yes. Well then, no wonder that you are upset. This cheerful justification startled Lottie enough to leave a frozen sniffle, mouth hanging open, narrow-sided, and continued. It is normal to be upset about these things that frighten you. Only, I think it is also normal to try and make yourself less frightened if you can. You wouldn't want to be afraid forever. Horses are very large, but they can also be kind and sweet. They like apples and carrots and being petted just like cats too. Lottie now seemed more confused and distraught. Perhaps you should go and meet the horses? Then you can come back and play with Tybalt. What if Lavinia won't let me? Then we shall wait until she is not looking, and while we wait, I will tell you about the horse who rescued a lost prince. She held out her hand, and after a moment, Lottie took it. New week. Ooh, tutoring. Choosing tutoring options. Cool. What does that give me though? Oh, a bunch of patience and knowledge. Why'd my knowledge go down low? I mostly need knowledge and some sympathy. Got enough to the other ones. Let's read another book. Yeah, because I'm already filled on patience. Let's go. Rating, artistry, perfect. That's fine. Just one. Damn it, the one I didn't need. I could use that, I guess. Let's go. Oh, that's not bad. When Sarah came downstairs, she found Jessie holding a most curious item. It resembled a long wooden spoon, though somewhat thicker than the shaft, and with a solid round end instead of a bowl. What are you doing with that? Jessie turned the object over in her hands. Oh, Sarah, isn't it interesting? It's from India. I know. I've heard that there are societies for gentlemen and ladies, separate, of course, where they all have wooden clubs like this and swing them to strengthen their arms, or even throw them at each other. Isn't that quaint? Are you sure they throw them at each other? In India, the jugglers throw them up in the air and catch them again. Oh, I don't know. She looked at the solid wooden shape he held it, and then up at Miss Minchin's painted ceiling. Perhaps I ought not to try that. Where'd you get it from? Lavinia gave it to me. For a moment, she cradled the club in her arms as if it were a doll. She wouldn't tell me anything about it, though. She told me to take it, and if I was so interested, she would say nothing. Wait, if I was so interested, and she would say nothing more. Jessie let the length dangle down from her hand. And swung it gently back and forth. It doesn't seem like such hard work. Her eyes glowing for a moment with strange emotion. Imagine the blow if you struck a man with this. What, why? Oh, it was just a foolish thought. Nothing more. I was thinking of chariots and queens. We are not soldiers and have no need to defend ourselves. There are brave men for that job. Like my papa. Yes. You're lucky you have such a father. Sarah smiled, pleased to accept any compliments for her beloved papa, and thought no more of it. Well, I guess Jessie's events are expired. 8 figure? What? We're going in. Sarah, would you like to go for a walk? It is lovely. It is a lovely day. Well, no, it is not a lovely day, but it is as close as a pleasant day as we are likely to have here in London. And nice girls always say it is lovely if they wish to go out. And I wish to go out with you, if that is alright. Ermengarde's fingers flicked and fidgeted at the side of her skirt. Sarah caught her hand and clasped it. We will make it a lovely day, and then because of you, I will be part of it. It was a pleasant day for London, clouded enough not to be overly warm, but without the blanket of fog and foul air that sometimes develops in the city streets. If we are fortunate, perhaps we might see some dragoons on Propoland Park. Soldiers? You like to watch the soldiers? Her eyes warmed with remembrance. Their uniforms are so bright, the red and gold makes any man look handsome, even if he has whiskers like a walrus. The horses have high necks and beautiful glossy coats. They're full of energy. It makes me feel good, somehow, to see them, to think that they and I are in the same world and owe our loyalty to the same queen. Yes, that is how I felt sometimes when I saw Papa drill with his regiment. That I am proud to be part of the British Empire. Oh! Ermengarde's heart was lighted by the thought of that one of her strange feelings was something that she shared with her idol. Idolizing her is kinda weird. But it's pretty obvious she does, so. Encouraged, she continued. Sometimes I think that, well, if I were a boy, I might like to be a soldier. Then I could go on adventures in faraway places like your papa, India, or even Africa. And if I was in the cavalry, I would have a fine red uniform and shining helmet and a sword, and I would get to ride all the time on a black charger. I wouldn't feel so big and awkward all the time then. I could feel strong. I think it might be nice to protect people, to protect my country. Sarah was caught up in the vision. Perhaps you might even perform an act of great heroism to save lives at the risk of your own, and then be knighted by the hands of the Queen Victoria. Ermengarde hid her face behind her hands. No, I don't think that that would never happen. Don't tease. I'm not teasing you. I think that you would make a very good hero. You're kind, and that is the most important trait that a hero needs. But do you really wish that you were a boy? Oh, I don't know. Not really. Besides, if I were a boy and a soldier, my father would still be disappointed in me. God damn it. How sad it is to forever feel that your father is not proud of you. Sarah? Yes? The next time that I go to visit my family, will you come with me? I'd like to be able to show you parts of England that aren't London. Maybe we could even go to see my Aunt Eliza. I think the countryside is so much nicer than even the parks here. We could go through the woods and look for berries and mushrooms, and she reined herself in. You don't have to, only if you wanted. Sarah stopped in place. She turned to Ermengarde and placed her hands on her shoulders to make sure that her friend was looking. I'd love to go to the countryside with you. She let go of Ermengarde then and laughed, a gay bright sound that made the other girls smile to hear it. To come all this way to England and then to see nothing but Miss Minskin's school, surely nothing would be right. Hell no. Oh, Sarah, it would be lovely. Truly lovely, not lovely because it is the polite thing to say. Only, do you have any old clothes? If we were down in the woods or lie in the grass, you might not want to wear your best frocks. I'm not sure. I have some dresses that are nicer than others, but nothing that is truly old. I would buy more clothes, but then they would be new. Yeah. Marriott says that I'm growing a date. Marinette says I am grow. Oh my god. Marinette says that I am growing a great deal right now, though, and that soon I will not fit into some of my frocks. So I suppose that I will have old clothes then. You could borrow some of mine if you wanted. If you outgrow something, then it might not fit you at all. But if I outgrow something, then for you it might be fine. Thank you. She kissed Ermengarde. Oh my god. Ermengarde on his cheek. You see, you are very kind. Ermengarde put her fingers against the soft curve of her cheek where Sarah's lips had touched and smiled. New week. Ooh, new place. Okay. Once again, Miss Minskin prepared to lead her students back from church. Oh, that's the church? Okay. Back from the church to the safe confines of the seminary. However, so happened that on the Sunday she caught sight of someone with whom she had business to conduct. Keep together now, girls, for I'm lying wait here. Lavinia, dear, I'm counting on you to maintain order. I will be only a few minutes. Yes, Miss Minchin. As Miss Minchin walked away, Lavinia raised her chin with pride. She did not notice the conversations going on around her. Look, Sarah, Mama, why is that tower so high? Oh, are we gonna look at something? That's where they keep the church bells. They lift them up high so that they can be heard from far away. Oh. There's a man who lives up there, a tower keeper. It is his job to watch over the bells and keep them clean and ready to ring. He lives there? He never comes down? Sarah did not know how the tower keeper spent his days, but she had heard of wise men in India who kept vigils, and of Christian stylites who lived atop pillars. No, never. The priests bring him food and water so that he never has to look down. He tends the bells and he thinks about God. Because he's so up in the sky sometimes, if he is very lucky, the clouds part and he can almost catch a glimpse of the land beyond. The shining city and the fields of lilies? At this point, Lavinia noticed that the two of them standing with their necks craned back. Oh, Sarah Crew, whatever are you doing? You're gawking like foreigners. Sarah and Lottie lowered their heads, though not in Lottie's case, without protest. We're looking at heaven, where our mamas are. They live in the city with golden street and fields of lilies that everyone gathers. And then they watch over us and whisper to us, and they visit the man in the bell tower. Sarah told me. You wicked thing, making up fairy stories about heaven. There are much more splendid stories in Revelation. How do you know mine are fairy stories? Ooh, you're lying. You didn't get that story from the Bible. Read it for yourself. Streets of gold and gates of pearl, and many more things besides. Perhaps the lilies are my own invention, and perhaps they aren't. But I can tell you, you will never find out whether they are or not if you're not kinder to the people you are now. Let's go. Just told her she's going to hell. What? But Sarah, perhaps feeling a bit ashamed of her burst of unheavenly temper, turned her head and refused to respond. Oof. Let's go. What do I need now? I need a bunch of vigor. Okay, so I got patience, artistry. Just need the other things. The vigor is gonna be the hard one to get up. Artistry, knowledge. Let's go with that. Hopefully I get lucky. Let's see. Ah, damn. Nothing. No way. What a waste. Okay, there we go. Double it. Damn. Oh my god, this week was a waste. I only got one. Can I go back? I want to go back. Oh, damn. Ooh, again. Let's try again. Okay, let's see. Actually, instead of playing with toys, let's try this instead. Grace. Yeah, I think this is better. Hopefully we get some of them. There we go. I think this looks better. Let's see. Perfect. Okay, we're good. That's fine. Ooh, okay, so it's sympathy. Oh, I guess I only got sympathy there. Didn't need any of that. You're kidding, bro. None of them doubled. That's so dumb. Sarah had been out in the town buying a new book, and as she rode in the comfortable carriage back to Miss Minchkin's school, her mind was filling up with stories and histories. Quite unconsciously, she descended the carriage steps with the grace of a queen, looking much grander than she might have imagined if she were the sort of girl to think in great detail about how she looked. As Sarah crossed the pavement, she caught sight of a dingy little figure down in the servants' area steps, a girl with a suit smugged face, peering up at her with wide eyes. Oh, let's go! Something in the eagerness and timidity of that smudgy-faced girl made Sarah look back, and when she looked, she smiled because it was her way to smile at people. The eyes went even wider, as if afraid that she ought not to have been caught looking at a pupil of importance. The maid, if that was what she was, turned and scurried back into the kitchen, vanishing as quickly as a reversed jack-in-the-box. Poor little forlorn thing. I wonder who she is. Let's go. No, she's not introduced yet. Damn it. Week 14. $7. That's a lot. Damn. Ready yet? Sarah rose cooled off in her soft, comfortable chair with a book while Marriott moved around the room, neatening cushions and setting items on shelves into orderly alignments. It was a book detailing life in a faraway America and 4 sisters who were growing up into women. Sarah found it well written but less exciting than the histories and fantasies she preferred. It is unfair for me to judge them too quickly. Perhaps they will have adventures when they are older. I've not had so many adventures myself yet, but I hope that I will someday. As she turned the pages, she became aware of a faint musical sound elsewhere in the room. Marinette was humming to herself. Ooh! I wonder if she realizes she is doing that. Distracted by her reading, Sarah listened for a while, trying to follow the thread of the tune. Miss Mitchell's select seminary aimed to create well-rounded young ladies, but Miss Mitchell herself did not place so much emphasis on music, and singing masters visited only infrequently. On the streets of London, one might see performances of various sorts: fiddlers, organ grinders, sometimes even singers, although the city noise made it difficult for such to be heard. These street musicians, however, were more commonly found in parts of London through which a refined young lady passed through quickly and did not linger. Her ear tempted by the possibility of a new source of music, Sarah asked, "What are you humming?" "Oh, pardonnez, monsieur." "No, you didn't need to stop. It sounded pretty." "I was hoping that you knew the song and could sing it to me. I'm not certain that I can remember the words, but I will try." In a breathy voice, Mariette began to sing what must have been a children's nonsense song about a beautiful lady who was in fact a beautiful slice of bread living in a palace of butter. The lyrics were, of course, all in French, and 1 or 2 words referred to things Sarah was unfamiliar with, like croquignoles. She assumed they were another kind of pastry. Perhaps I should have Mary buy some for us if she can find them in London. There are likely to be more French bakeries here in India. Mary's voice trailed off amidst a pile of confections. Oh, dude, she's super pretty, what the hell? Ah, well, you see how it is, yes? I am sorry. It is not a proper song. I think it is a darling little song. Where did you learn it? Oh, nowhere important. It must be a common song in France. I wonder if it is something that my mother knew when she was a little girl. You look sad, mademoiselle. Was my singing so terrible? No, not at all. It was very sweet of you to sing to me. I was thinking about my mother. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to stir up painful memories. Oh, but I don't remember her. Not at all. That is what I was thinking about. It seemed like a serious subject, so Sarah rose from her chair and stood with her hands clasped behind her, as if she were giving a recitation. I never knew my mother, and I cannot miss her. I do not know what having a mother is like. My father picked you for me, and you are kind and French, as was she. So I wondered for a moment if he meant for you to be a kind of mother to me, as I am Mama to Lottie. Lottie? I could pretend it was so, if it pleased you, or if it pleased my papa, but it does not seem right somehow. You are not my mother. You are Mariette, and that is something all in some. Mary covered her smile with her hand. You are filled with thoughts, my petite princesse. You do not need to worry. I do not wish to be your mother. Sarah nodded quite seriously. That is good. I would not wish to disappoint her. I am sure she comes out from heaven sometimes to watch over me. It might make her sad if she thought she had been replaced, especially when I cannot see her or speak with her to explain. Would you like to see her? What? But how? Come here. Mary drew Sarah close in front of her. Close your eyes. Blind Sarah allowed herself to be guided by Mary's hands. She was not afraid. She knew Mary would take care of her. Now turn and look. Sarah opened her eyes to be faced with the full-length mirror that always stood in her room. There is your mother, do you see? Your mother, your father, made you. They are always inside you. Sarah stared at her reflection for a moment, and then smiled. Mary, I believe you are filled with thoughts too. Then we are a pair. A pair. Is that the church? Ooh, I've been streaming for this game for 2 hours. It feels like I haven't advanced at all. Whatever. What time is it? 2:51. It's not that late. The weather was forming fine. The skies of London unusually clear. As such, Miss Minchin had decided that the proper Sunday outing for her girls was a long walk through parks and gardens. Keep up. That looks funny. Keep up, keep together. A lady's health is an important accomplishment. While the temperature outside was not great in itself, the ceaseless beating of sunlight upon the little heads slowly made their Sunday dresses a difficult burden to bear. This is abominable. My complexion will be ruined. I may have to write to my father and complain. She adjusted the position of her parasol on her shoulder and sighed. No proper young lady should be forced to drug on foot like this. Is that not why we have horses? Miss Minchin said that horses should have a day of rest on Sundays. As if a horse would know or care what day it is. I deserve a carriage. It is due my rank. Miss Lavinia was not the only girl complaining about the walk. Sarah, Mama, I'm tired. Everyone is tired. Sarah, Mama, won't you carry me? You have to walk for yourself. You're too big for me to carry you along. Besides, it would be undignified. Our Sarah may be many things, but she is not a horse. Perhaps you should ask Ermengarde. Lavinia! What did I say? I was only pointing out that she seemed to be handling this walk way better. No, this walk better than Lottie is. Sarah looked at her friend. True enough, though Ermengarde's cheeks were as flushed as anyone else's, she appeared to be walking slowly along without slowing or complaining. Aren't you tired and hot? Yes. I always feel tired and hot when we walk back from the church, so I'm used to it. But this walk is so much longer. It all seemed the same to me. Ermengarde has great endurance. It is a virtue. A soldier must have great endurance and will be able to carry on through much more difficult circumstances than this. A soldier might have to walk miles. What the fuck was that? Oh, ooh, interesting. Smashable tour for Millie. Cool. A soldier might have to walk miles in the sun in uniform and carry a heavy pack besides enemy and be ready to fight whenever he arrived. Our lives are so much easier, but we must be good soldiers as best as we can. If Ermengarde can bear it, then I can bear it. If Jesse can bear it, then I shall have to bear it. What's that supposed to mean? What did you mean? Nothing. I don't want to bear it. I don't want someone to carry me. You have legs. Use them. Same as we are. I don't want to. No one's going to carry you. If you don't walk, you'll be left here all alone. And then it'll get dark, and the tigers will come out and eat you up. There aren't any tigers, and then you gotta make things up like that. Well, she likes it when Sarah makes things up. Sarah spoke quickly to head off the threat of Lottie's deciding to cry and fuss. Oh, we'll all have tea later in my room, and I will tell you stories. But first we must return to school, which we must walk. Lottie sighed and carried on. Okay, what do I need? I got patience, so don't really need a tutor. Do need knowledge though. I still need vigor though. Vigor and grace and sympathy. Yeah, this is probably a better one for me. One? Okay, fine, I'll take that. Oh, another one. Whatever. Okay, there's the vigor and the belief. More vigor. Double. Damn it. Oh, I'll take the grace. Thank you. The greatest power of Sarah possessed. Oh, the greatest power Sarah possessed was her power of telling stories and of making everything she talked about seem like a story, whether it was one or not. It was that power which Lavinia and certain other girls were most envious of, and at the time most fascinated by in spite of themselves. And it was in service of that power that so many of Miss Minchin's students had gathered in Sarah's jewel box rooms, seating themselves on chairs and cushions or rugs to listen. The princess sat on the white rocks beside the lagoon with a shining white lily in her hands, and as she turned this way and that, she watched its reflection dance across the water below. The waters of the lagoon lay still, crystal clear and green as glass, but the princess could only see her flower in the reflection, and never herself. So she looked, and she looked, until at last she saw a face in the waters, not her face, but the face of a merman. Sarah went on to tell of the courtship between the princess and the merman prince, and the girls who listened sighed sweetly and leaned their cheeks against their hands or each other. As they listened, the door of the room swung silently. Oh, let's go! As they listened, the door to the room swung silently, and the same dirty figure Sarah had glimpsed before it crept into the room carrying a heavy coal box. Coal box? What? The maid was cleaner than she had been the other day, but seemed just as frightened. She hunched by the fire, afraid even to look at the other children or appear to be listening. She put on pieces of coal cautiously with her fingers so that she might make no disturbing noise. Oh, into the fire. Oh, no wonder. To a fireplace, not that I can see one. And she swept about the fire irons very softly. But Sarah saw that she was doing her work slowly in the hope of catching a word here and there, and realizing this, she raised her voice and spoke more clearly. The princess took her seat in the great clear bubble carriage, and a team of six seahorses pulled her into the ocean, her harness woven with pearls. Down into the sea they drove. At first the water grew dark, and the princess was afraid, but then, far below, fluttered and rippling through the depths, there shone a light. The small drudge before the grate swept the hearth once, and then swept it again, and finally forgot to play at sweeping at all. Oh, the brush hung idly from her fingers as Sarah described winding grottos beneath the sea, paved with silver and sand and lit by glowing sea stars. It was... Whoa, the music changed. Or stopped. Okay. I hope the audio just didn't explode or something, whatever. It was the chorus of mermaids singing that proved her undoing. The forgotten brush slipped from her fingers to clatter against the hearth and drew Lavinia's attention. There we go. What? That girl has been listening. Oh, how expensive. The culprit snatched up her brush and scrambled to her feet. She grabbed the coal box and simply scuttled out of the room like a frightened insect fleeing for cover. I knew she was listening. Why wouldn't she? She isn't one of us, Sarah. It isn't proper to talk with servants. Oh, she's a servant then. Unless they are upper servants like you, Mariette. That's alright. I wasn't talking with her. I was telling a story. I do not know whether your papa would like you to tell stories to servant girls, but I do know my papa would like me to do it. My papa? I don't believe he would mind in the least. He knows that stories belong to everyone. Nothing belongs to everyone. Nothing belongs to everybody. If it did, they'd all have to fight over it. Only loyal Ermengarde took Sarah's side. I think Sarah should tell stories to whom she wants to tell them. You wouldn't think it wrong if she told stories to try about, would you? I should think it rather odd if she were telling stories to a cat. Oh please, Sarah, Mama, finish the story. Sarah looked at the room full of eager, upturned faces. No one wished to follow and harass the fleeing girl, but no one wished to go and invite her back either. She would continue her fairy story, but she would not forget. Not yet, damn. That's until 14, damn. Mariette, because she's amazing. Sarah sat at her desk, unmoving, a pen kept poised between her fingers in preparation for the words that had not yet come. You are studying that paper very intently, Mademoiselle. Are there secrets written upon it? It was a kindly teasing over the still blank page, but Sarah considered the question seriously. Not that I can read, and I haven't written any of my own yet. It would be an interesting sort of magic to write words on a paper that only some people can see, but it might be even more interesting if you could read words that haven't been written yet. But then I suppose if you could read them first, you wouldn't be able to be the one that was writing them. With that sound, Sarah had learned of polite acknowledgement without understanding. I'm preparing to write a letter to my papa, you see. I want it to be just right, so I can keep turning the words over and over again. I keep turning the words over and over again in my head. I don't want to send him a page full of blots and scratchlings if I change my mind. I'm sure he would love any letter from you, even if it would nothing but scribblings. Yes, I suppose he would. Still, I want to do my best. Sarah thought a bit longer and then asked, have you written to your family in France, Maria? None. Oh. Do you need paper or ink? You can use my desk when I am out. If you would like me to leave you some time without interruptions, I could. Mademoiselle, you should not worry about such things. I know how it feels to be far from the place you knew. You must miss your family very much. It is perhaps so. Then, Mademoiselle, I did not leave my family in France. I had already lost them. What? That's so sad. Aww. I kind of feel like crying now. I had already lost them many years ago. Sarah breathed out hard as a sudden pang of sympathy knifed through her breast. Are you an orphan? Of that, I do not know. Seeing the concern on her mistress' face, Mariam was compelled to explain herself. Mademoiselle, it is very difficult for a woman in service to raise a child. You cannot work with a babe in your arms. My parent left me in care of a couple who owned a small inn in Limoges. That is where I grew up. My mother visited me as a child when she could. It was not often. Then one day I realized she would not come back, and I do not know what happened. There was no word. She only did not return. I believe that she must have died. I do not think she would have abandoned me by choice. If Sarah had been older and Mariette younger, she would have hugged and comforted her. For Sarah was a tender-hearted soul. It was more difficult in this situation to know what to do. Mariette did not seem to be greatly wounded by her loss, only wistful. Perhaps it was so long ago that, as with my own mother, she does not much remember or miss her. Or perhaps it is because she is an adult now and that she thinks that she must be strong. Whatever the case, I think you're right. Your mother must be in heaven now, watching over you. I'm certain that she was a kind and loving woman, that she would never forget you. Ah, how do you know this, mademoiselle? She rose from her desk and stood straight. Because you are a kind and loving person who looks after others. You are not my mother, but you are like a mother should be. So I'm sure your mother was just the same. And then Mariette did something unusual. For no particular reason, she reached out and laid her hands on top of Sarah's dark little head. It felt warm. Merci, mademoiselle. Aww. Damn. Looking at the hearth in her room, Sarah was reminded of the little servant she had seen before. In truth, she had looked for the girl earlier, but had been unable to spot such a person anywhere in the school. If not for the disagreement with her listeners, Sarah might have thought she had imagined her. Sarah understood that it would cause disruption if she barged into the kitchen to ask questions. She had only one bridge to rely on. Yep. Mariette, who's that little girl who makes the fires? Ah, Mademoiselle Sarah. You might well ask that poor little one. He has just recently been taken as a schooling maid, although schoolery is the least of it. She is sent to do every task that no one else wants to do. She blacks the boots and guides. She carries the coal scuttles up and down the stairs and scrubs the floors and windows. I think she has not had enough to eat in years. She is older than her height would tell, and so timid. If I try to speak to her, her little eyes look to pop right out of her head. Ooh, what is her name? I hear that called often enough. Becky, do this. Becky, do that. Everyone below stairs orders her about Becky. Ooh, the name could have been better, honestly. What was that? Something appeared. Oh, skip mode. Okay. If life were a story, Becky might be the ill-used heroine, and perhaps a fairy godmother might come to her rescue. You have a kind heart, mademoiselle. Your papa would be proud. Like, why can I say mademoiselle better than Ermengarde? That name is hard to say. Now stand up straight. Let me have a look at you. Alright? Just as I thought, you're growing taller. I am? Sarah looked down at herself. I'm feeling different. How much have I changed since I've been here? You are at that age after all. I will have to alter a few things. How tall will I grow before I see my papa again? At least we got her name. What do I need now? I need sympathy. Tea party. Grace. I need a bit of grace and knowledge. I need sympathy though. That's what I need the most. And some knowledge. Let's go. Let's go with that. Let's see if I get lucky. Let's go. Another one. Ah ha ha ha. Another one. Ah ha ha ha. I need vigor though. I'll take that. Double, damn it. Oh, 9 sympathy. Filled up. Oh, a new room. Sarah, come and see. A number of students were drawn to the sound of Ermengarde's excitement. It was not often that a girl would call for such attention in her bedroom, particularly not quite Miss St. John. What is it? Look through the window there. That tree outside, can you see it? From the door to the room, Lavinia smirked. I should hope that she can see the tree outside, or else she needs eyeglasses. Hush! What do you want me to see, Ermengarde? There's a nest in the branches there, and there are eggs in it. Soon there will be baby birds. That's darling, isn't it? Babies? Whoa! Where? Must everyone come into my room? If you do not wish to attract attention in the future, do not bellow. Where are the babies? They're still inside the eggs, Lodi. There will be baby birds sometime in the future. Can baby birds see inside eggs? What? Yeah, huh? I don't know. No, I think they're asleep. Wouldn't it be wonderful to have a bird for a pet? You could feed it from your hand and it would sing to you. Baby birds are not wonderful. They're horrible pink-skinned monsters with no eyes. Disgusting. Monsters. No, they aren't very pretty when they're born, but they change as they grow up. All things do. Soon little birds are covered in fuzz all over. Fluffy chicks are adorable. But when they grow up and learn to fly, even if I tried to keep a bird as a pet, it would probably fly away. There are people in India who keep parrots as pets, not even in cages. They can be trained to ride on someone's shoulder. My papa knew a man who gave his bride to be a parrot that he taught to recite love poetry to her. Ooh, that's cool. How romantic. I don't think a bird's a very romantic gift. What if she didn't want a pet? What if it pulled her hair? Lavinia reached out and tugged at strands of Jessie's long-red hair. Quack! My beloved is mine, and I am hers. She feedeth among the lilies. Quack! Stop that! She swatted Lavinia's hand away. Are you going to take one of the eggs out of the nest to raise it? Oh no, that would be right. Little birds need their parents to survive. Jessie combed her hair back into place with her fingers. At least until the parents shove them out of the nest. Birds do that, don't they? They do, Sarah Mama? Only when it's time for the young ones to learn to fly. After all, they can't stay eggs forever. 7 knowledge. I barely got enough. Oh god. Mademoiselle? Yes? Her maid held out a book. It was a copy of Poems Antiques, which Ermengarde had gifted her. I finished reading this, so I thought I should offer it to you. Oh no, that's very kind of you. I do not have great many books though. I do have a great many books though, and that one is yours especially, so I don't want to take it away. Marriott smiled and shook her head. I did not mean to give it away, mademoiselle. However, I think there's a poem that you would particularly enjoy. It is called Bhagavat. Oh, Sarah's eyes widened. Is it an Indian poem? It is a French poem on the subject of India. I believe the writer may have visited the place himself. Ooh. And she touched the book reverently as though a portal to faraway lands might be contained within. Then, thoughtful, she turned away and crawled up into the bed. Will you read it to me? It is your book after all, and I think I should like to hear in your voice, the voice of France. France has many voices. I will read it to you, if you wish, but I am not experienced in dramatic reading. I may not do it justice. It's a very long poem, and my tongue will have fatigue. Then perhaps if you read only a little bit at a time, it could become something we do together every day. I'd like it if you sat on my bed and read it to me. I think it would be nice. Alright. Oh, dude, that looks so nice. Oh, bro. She's so nice. And so Sarah leaned her head against Mary's shoulder and listened to the soft French voice speaking of birds and white and purple wings, monkeys in the vines, and sleeping yellow-bellied tigers. Oh, I wish I could see it all again. What are the most beautiful things you saw in France? Did you ever visit the Opera Ballet? Oh no, that is not for me. The most beautiful sight from France for me would be the city of Orleans. It is not so famous as Paris, but it has much history. A city? Not a Chanteau? I don't know what that is. Chanteau? Chanteau? Chantal? Chanteau? Chanteau is a communal Wait, did I spell it wrong? Oh, no, no wonder the spelling was wrong. Let's see.
As well. Well, in French, you would normally say chateau.
Chateau.
So do not insist on the O all that much, or no, do not say chateau all that much if you want to reach the typical French pronunciation. Rather than saying chateau, say chateau. 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 Now, what is a chateau? Well, a chateau is a castle.
Chateau.
It can be a large country house as well, and often it is a reference of a winery, just like Chateau Margaux, Chateau Lafite, Rothschild, and so on.
Chateau. Okay. Oh, dude, the music fits so well, actually. I really like it. Not a city, not a chateau. Chateau. Or mountain? There is a statue of Jeanne d'Arc there. You would like that. It is a reminder of the power of faith and dreams. Are you very homesick, Mariette? I feel sometimes that it might be selfish for me to keep you here. Mademoiselle, if you not worry about such things. But I do worry. It was why I wished to come here. I am content. You don't want to go home? Home is not a place that exists for me. Oh my god, bro, that's so sad. God damn. For me anymore. If for any fashion, I am happy in this position and do not wish to leave it. I would much rather be the maid of a petite princess like yourself than work in a gentleman's house. Oh, does that mean that if I return to my papa's home, she will not accompany me? My papa's a gentleman. I don't know why she would not wish to be in his house, though. It would be wonderful. Oh, damn, bro. Goddamn. Girls, gather around if you please. Today I have arranged a special outing for your edification. Actually, don't know what that means. Whatever. We'll be attending the British Museum of Natural History. Natural? Does that mean plants? I hope not. There's nothing edifying about plants. It could be interesting to attend a museum of plants with people who know all about them and can tell their stories. You mean gardeners? Maybe we'll get to play in the garden? Quiet down. Form up. Let's go. Whoa. That looks sick. It's going to eat me. It can't eat you, Lottie. It's not a real dinosaur. It's a former dinosaur. It's dead. It's going to follow me. I don't think it'll fall. It's really rather interesting. It's an amazing find. It's disturbing. It's a monster. It's marvelous. Jessica shivered and took Lotie's hands in hers. Come on, let's go find something to look at that isn't dead. I think that everything in the museum might be... Then we'll look at the walls. They are rather pretty walls. You'll look at the exhibits with me, won't you, Sarah? Yes, of course. Are you coming, Lavinia? No, I want to look at this one a little longer. I'll catch up with you two in a few minutes. Two? You're here, aren't you? Right. Ooh. Sarah wondered if this was the first time that Lavinia had ever preferred Ermengarde's company to Jessie's. Huh. No knowledge at all. I need that. Give me that. And then what else do I got? I need patience. So reading a bunch of books. I need some vigor too. Let's go with that. Yeah, that's fine. One again? Give me three. Come on. Three. Oh, really? 3. Yes. There we go. I'll take that. Double. Oh well, that's fine. Knowledge is still kind of low. Sarah was woken from her sleep by the sound of knocking. Ah! Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? What Laissez passer il. It's alright, I'll get the door. Lori? Sarah, mama! The young girl clung to Sarah. I had a bad dream and the monster was going to eat me, and I woke up and it was dark and I thought I saw something. Bones, there were bones in my room, monster bones. Shh, it's alright. Maria, where are my slippers? The maid brought the fluffy white shoes for Sarah to slip her feet into. I'll walk you back to your room and show you that it's safe. They went into the hallway together, two little girls in the dark. You're not mad? I woke you up. Well, I want to sleep, but I want you to sleep too. And if you're too afraid you can't sleep, and if you're too afraid you can't sleep, and if I can help you, then we both can. Lottie blinked her eyes a few times and said nothing. Where are we? See? There we are. See? No bones, just a tree shadow. Right. She paused at the door. Sarah, mama? I didn't really think there were bones in my room. I mean, I thought it, but I didn't really believe it was true. I knew that it wasn't. I just wanted to feel better. Sorry. Sarah nodded slowly. Sometimes when you pretend things, even if you know behind the doors in your mind that they're not quite real, they still feel as if they were real. It isn't wrong to believe in what you pretend. Lodi smiled. I pretend I'm going to have a good dream. That is a very nice thing to pretend. I believe I will too. With that, she returned to her bed. Fuck. I believe, bro. Oh, that's week 15 though. I knew it. I needed knowledge. Damn. What should I do? Should I just do another random event? Damn, my belief is gonna be wasted. I really don't feel like going with Lavinia. I don't like her at all. But I mean, I might as well, no? Because I don't need any grace for these two. I need knowledge though. Screw it. Sarah knocked upon the door. It is Sarah Crew, may I come in? You may enter. Miss Mitch's model student was to stay holding court in their rooms. It was a rather small court, consisting as it did only of one loyal follower, Jesse Abbott. But Lavinia's posture suggested no doubts about her right to rule. Hello, Lavinia, may I beg your pardon? Your pardon? That is not begging. Jessie teared behind her hand. I'm sorry, I don't understand. No, it is evidently that there are a great many things you do not understand. That is only to be expected, seeing that you have been raised in the savage outlands. However, here in England, we observe manners. Sarah was perplexed. It was not her desire to be unmannerly, but she could not immediately perceive what breach she had committed. You're too forward, Miss Crew. I had not invited you to use my Christian name. I've never heard that before. We've already been introduced. Knowing one's name is not sufficient reason to use it. A friend would call me Lavinia. You and I are not yet such friends. Oh, Lavi, she is very young. Children use names freely. It was clear to Sarah that Jessie intended to demonstrate her own superior rank of friendship, not merely Lavinia, but a pet name. How funny that it should be called a pet name when it was Jessie who acts more like the pet to Lavinia. This school is for young girls. No, this school is for young ladies. Even if she is young enough to be exhausted, she ought to practice. She will need all the polish she can get. After all, Miss Minchin has set me to be her model student. That is my responsibility to correct her mistakes. It is a silly game with these manners, but I do enjoy games. She criticized then, if only slightly. I pray you will forgive me, Miss Herbert. I was too familiar. Lavinia waved her hand. You are forgiven, of course. Now, what did you wish to speak to me about? Miss Minchin said that your father was stationed in India, and I was curious where you had lived. Whether we might have seen the same. And now Lavinia held up her hand again. I have no interest in discussing anything whatsoever to do with India. It is not a proper topic for polite conversation. Sarah frowned. From the odd look on Jessie's face, she too seemed to find this answer disappointing. Please understand, Miss Crew. We are here in London, under the shield of Her Majesty the Queen Victoria of the United Kingdom of Britain and Ireland, defender, faith, empress of India. Everything that matters in the world takes place within these miles. Trade within the city, government and parliament, and society within the palace. India is a distant hinterland, filthy and rife with disease. It is a jungle out there. Yes, there are jungles, but they are not more filthy than London is. Nothing could be more filthy than London. Ooh, get burned. A proper lady expresses interest in India only to imagine the thrill of being made to briefly visit such a wild and terrible terrain. You should be very glad that you have escaped it. Thrills are exciting. Hush. What the hell? Lavinia rubbed one hand over the other as if brushing away dirt. I hope I've made myself clear. We will not be discussing India here. However, I will be very pleased to aid you in learning the ways of the English Miss Crew. I am certain that that is what Miss Minchin had in mind when she directed you to me. That's very kind of you. Not at all. It is my duty. And even good Englishman or woman is keen to do his or her duty. Like my papa, the soldier. Yes, if you must. I still don't understand why she refuses to talk about India. Wasn't she born there? She must know how lovely it can be. Man. Oh, marionette. Mademoiselle, hold out on your arms like so, if you please. Sarah extended her arms, letting them drift into ballot second position. Now over your head, so I can see the fabric stretch. Marinette was making the final adjustment to Sarah's new pink dancing frock after pointing out that Sarah's change in height meant her old ones no longer fit just so. Ah, a touch just there. Take it off again, if you please, and I'll have it done before your next lesson. Sarah wiggled free of the soft fabric and handed it over. It's such a beautiful color, and the skirt is so light. Dancing in that, I should feel like a pink butterfly floating on the breeze, or a fairy princess with wings like rose petals. Roses, that is what it needs. Roses. No, that is what it needs. A wreath of roses for your head. I will find some boots at the florist's. The mental picture of herself decked out in a pink dancing frock with a crown of flowers was so delightful that Sarah laughed out loud. Sometimes life is so beautiful. I wonder if I have to pretend it into being. Mademoiselle does have a very good imagination. No, it is the magic. The magic shapes our lives and makes everything wonderful. Sarah's heart was lighter than a feather. Okay, again. I need that knowledge. Grace. I may need some grace too. Check it out. 3, 1, 3, and then it's gonna be grace, patience, and the other one in vigor, and then this one's gonna be the double. Watch this magic. Oh. Oh, I think I got those switched up. Dancing. Damn, I messed up. Oh, there we go. Ooh, nice. This is perfect. Sarah's rooms at Miss Minchie's seminary were not like the other rooms of ordinary pupils who were meant to be satisfied with simple necessities. There were pictures and books and curious things from India. There was a sofa and a low, soft chair. Emily sat in the chair of her own, with the air of presiding goddess. What? Oh, with the air of a presiding goddess. And there was always a glowing fire, and a polished grate. Let's go! Because the room was such a nice, bright, pretty place, a little scullery maid known as Becky liked to save it until the end of her afternoon's work. If luck was with her, she could snatch a few minutes to sit alone in the soft chair and look around, thinking about the wonderful good fortune of the child who owned such surroundings. On this afternoon, she had sat down. The sensation of relief on her short, aching legs had been so wonderful and delightful that it had seemed to soothe her whole body, and the glow of warmth and comfort from the fire had crept over her like a spell. Her hard-working young body was tired past the limits of endurance. As she looked at the red coals, a tired, slow smile stole over her smudged face. Her head nodded forward without her being aware of it, and her eyelids drooped. Let's go. They're gonna meet, finally! Thus it was that when Sarah returned to her rooms, her mind full of song and dance, she found an empty coal box on the floor and a maid so deeply asleep that she might have been an enchanted princess. Oh, that poor thing. Aw. Becky looked nothing like an illustration. Becky looked nothing like an illustration of Sleeping Beauty. Her gown was stained, her face smeared with soot, and her poor little handkerchief hung half off her head. Even her face beneath the dirt was a plain one. She looked only like an ugly, stunted, worn-out little school-race drudge. Damn! What the hell? But Sarah was not crossed to find such a figure in her own favorite chair. The ill-used heroine of the story. Now at last I can talk to her when she wakes. She crept closer to her chair, walking quietly on raised feet, and stood there looking at her. I wish she'd waken herself. I don't wish to waken her, but Miss Minchin will be cross if she finds out. I'll just wait a few minutes. She took a seat at the edge of the table and sat swinging her slim legs. If Miss Minchin came looking for Becky, she was sure to be scolded. But she's so tired, so tired. At that moment, Sarah's indecision was interrupted by a popping sound from the fire. A piece of flaming coal had broken and shifted. Becky did not realize at first that she had fallen asleep. She only remembered sitting down for a moment. And the gentle glow, and now she found herself staring in wild alarm at the wonderful pupil who sat perched quite near her like a fairy. Is that a plain face? I don't think so. Is it? I don't know. Becky sprang to her feet, clutching at her handkerchief to set it right. Oh, miss, I asked your pardon, miss. Oh, I do, miss. Miss, Sarah put her dainty feet on the ground and stood. Don't be frightened, it doesn't matter the least bit. I didn't go to do it, miss. It was the warm fire. And me being so tired, it weren't impertinence. Sarah broke into a friendly little laugh. You were tired, you could not help it. You are not really awake yet. Ain't you angry, miss? Ain't you gonna tell the missus? No, of course I'm not. I know I shouldn't. I shouldn't have touched your things, miss. Sarah shook her head. Why, we are just the same. I'm only a little girl like you. And it's just an accident. I'm not you, and you are not me. An accident, miss? Have you done your work? Dare you stay here for a few minutes? Here, miss? Me? If your bedrooms are finished, perhaps you might stay a tiny while. I thought perhaps you might like a piece of cake. Oh, cake! Me? Dude, she's so excited. Yes, of course. The next 10 minutes seemed to Becky like a sort of fever dream. The show people opened the cupboard and produced a thick slice of cake all for her, and actually seemed enthusiastic about watching Becky eat it. In between bites, Sarah managed to get answers to a few questions. A few weeks ago, you were watching me through the area railing, weren't you? Yes, miss. I saw a princess. I was standing in the street with the crowd outside Covent Garden, watching swelling go into the opera. And there was one everyone stared at most. They says to each other, "That's the princess. She was a gowned up young lady, but she was pink and lace all over, and flowers and all, and pretty as anything." That's what you look like, miss, that day. You look like her. I've often thought that I should like to be a princess. I should like to be a princess. I wonder what it feels like. I believe I will begin pretending I am one. Aren't you already? From elsewhere in the school, there was a sound of a door slamming. Oh, miss, I've got to go. Come back someday when you have more time, and I can finish the story you were listening to. But I'm always putting new bits of it in my head. Oh, miss, aw. If you do that, I won't mind how heavy the coal boxes are, or what Cook done to me. If I might have that to think of. She bobbed an awkward little courtesy, grabbing her handkerchief when it slipped again, and then hurried from the room. Let's go. Should I finish? I play Becky's Events. Okay, yeah. So I think I should do this one first to waste all those, and then slow this. Yeah. So basically, less points or whatever will be wasted. Okay. When Ermengarde went looking for Sarah, she found her curled up in the window seat reading a book. Now Sarah had confided in Ermengarde sometime earlier how much she disliked being interrupted when she was deeply absorbed in a fictional world. People who are fond of books know the feeling of irritation which sweeps over in such a moment. The temptation to be unreasonable and snappish is not easy to manage. Sarah had described it thus: "It makes me feel as if someone had hit me, and as if I want to hit them back." Ermengarde took one look at that intent little face and could not bear the thought of causing it such distress. Therefore, instead of calling for attention, she simply took a seat nearby and waited. Because she had few friends among the students of Miss Mitch's seminary, Ermengarde was not. This did not help her lessons, but it did not seem to do much harm either. Ermengarde gloomily considered that it was because she was already much of a failure as it was possible to be. Damn, she's so down on herself. Eventually, Sarah looked up from her book and noticed her friend nearby. "Oh, Ermengarde, I'm sorry, were you looking for me? I didn't want to disturb you. Well, it's alright now." She laid a ribbon bookmark across the pages and closed her book. "What are you thinking about?" Ermengarde found that she could not simply answer you, even if perhaps it was the truth. I was thinking about the museum that we went to. Do you remember the guide said that the flying dragon skeleton, the pterodactyl, was found by a woman? Sarah nodded. Mary Anning. Oh, she has a good memory. I forgot her name. You remembered the important part. Pterodactyl. She blushed and covered her mouth, ashamed that correcting Sarah in anything, but Sarah only nodded, indicated that she should go on. The moment he found them wasn't even lady, he said. She never went to grad school, but she learned all about creatures by walking up and down the beaches of Dorset and finding their bones. I thought that if planning trips together in England, that perhaps we should go to the seaside. We could find seashells even if we don't find any fossils. Yes. And now the book was set aside in the window seat as Sarah's imagination drew her to her feet. There are cliffs along the coast in Dorset, aren't there? And where there are cliffs, there might be caves. And where there are caves, there might be dwarves, or trolls, or pirate treasure. Oh, don't. Ermengarde clapped her hands around her ears. You'll get me all confused again between what's real and what isn't. Well, until we've been there, we don't know what's real. There certainly have been real pirates like Captain Strangways, or Isaac Gulliver, the king of smugglers. And it is possible that they might have left buried treasure in a cave somewhere. One of Sarah's books had included a history of wars, pirates, and weather-related sailing disasters around the English Channel. She was somewhat glad to have read it after her sea voyage rather than before. We can't know whether we will find treasure or not until after we have looked for one, and then you will know it and not be confused. You know, I think you don't actually have so much trouble remembering when you have seen or done something yourself. It's only books that you can't remember. Oh no, I forget all things all the time. But you remember all sorts of things about flowers and forests and birds and horses. You told me about 2 kinds of celandines. Yeah, I remember. Celandines, and about your aunt's doggies. Or doggies. Your aunt's dogs and her flower pressing hobby. You remembered where the fossils came from. You remember things that matter to you. Perhaps it's only books that you can't remember. But books are what should matter, at least to my father and Miss Minchin and you. Sarah laid her hand on Ermengarde's shoulder. I love books. They matter a great deal to me, but people matter more. Ooh, how nice. Sarah was sitting all curled up in a lovely soft chair by the fire, that same chair in which she had found Becky asleep not so long ago. Her stocking feet were folded up beneath her elbows on the chair arm, and her chin in her hands. If I were a princess, a real princess, I could go among the populace in the grand coach and scatter larges. Larges? Everyone who was tired and poor and hungry, I could make their lives better. That's what a princess ought to do. Even if I am only a pretend princess, I can still invent little things to do for people. She thought back to Becky's amazed delighted at being warm and fed. It took so little to make a difference for her, and she was just as happy as if it had been larges. From now on, I'll pretend that to do things people like scattering larges. For now on, I'll pretend that to do things people like is scattering larges. Then I can truly be a princess. The thought swelling up inside her, making her head feel quite light. Before she knew it, Sarah was sitting up straight in her chair, her arms at her sides and her feet hanging down just like a little princess on her throne. Okay, I need more knowledge. I need a bunch of other things though. One that doesn't have a very good chance of artistry should be this one. Do you need knowledge? Okay, let's go with that. 1, damn it. I'll take that. I'll take that. That was actually a really good one. I'll take that. Yes! Sip these all the way up. Ooh, Mademoiselle, there's a letter for you. A letter from Papa! She took the paper into her hands, not without the faintest twinge of dismay. She was glad, beyond glad, to have word from her beloved Papa, and yet such a letter made her realize she had not much thought about him for days and days. Papa would be glad that I had found so many things to fill my days. I should not feel upset. Banishing guilt, she drew out the letter and began to absorb its contents. Dear little Mrs. So it was far more fulfilling than the early missive from Bombay. He told her of many things he had seen and done, and how people that she had met in India were getting on, and it was all quite agreeable. And then, the most exciting news, a friend of mine from my schoolboy days came to visit me here in India, quite unexpectedly, to let me know of a piece of good fortune. He owns a large tract of land too large to have seen every detail of it himself, but recently has made a remarkable discovery. A deposit of diamonds. Wait, so he's gonna get even richer? He is now engaged in developing the mines to bring out these diamonds, and if all goes as he most confidently expects, he will become possessed of such wealth as makes one dizzy to think of. And because we were fond of each other in our school days, he thought of your old Papa and offered me the opportunity to share in this emergent. Wow, people actually do that in the past? You'd never think of something happening that in the future, like today. Thought of your old Papa and offered me the opportunity to share in this enormous fortune by becoming partner in this scheme. Diamonds! What is that? Is your father sending you a gift? You are too young to wear diamonds in English fashion. Diamond mines! Dude, oh my god. Sarah's mind was filled with images of the Arabian Nights. Deep caverns beneath the earth, sparkling stones studded into walls and ceilings, dark-eyed dwarves digging them free with heavy picks, heaps of discarded treasure shimmering with enchantments. Can such marvelous things really be true? Oh yeah, I haven't seen the doll for a while. It was all too much to put in words. She handed the letter to Marriott to read, then picked up Emily from her chair. Have you seen the Diamond Cavern, Emily? Have any of your favorite friends been there? Perhaps they could say hello to my papa for us. She hugged the doll to herself, her eyes glimmering crystal bright. Someday we'll see them together, my papa and I. There we go. Oh, complete? Oh, and that's just Act 1. Huh. Okay. So there are several acts then. Should I end it here? It's already 3 hours long, bro. And my voice is getting tired, honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here. Why not? How do I save it though? Okay, for now, let's say play event. Back auto. Okay, so there's a pause button. Okay. But I wanna. Fuck it. I'll just do this little event and then I'm done. Sarah came upon the little maid hard at work in the school corridors. Becky? Oh, miss. So startled that she was being addressed that she fumbled the bucket of sooty brushes she carried, nearly dropping them. Sarah rushed forward to grab a handle to prevent a spill. Missy, your aunt. You'll muck her up your nice dress, you will. It's alright, I'm being careful. Please, Missy, you shouldn't. It's not right. Well, you are the expert, of course, so I'll leave the things in your hands. Expert! Aren't you? I'm sure you're good at your work. Never heard it put that way, miss. Marriott says that everyone below stairs takes advantage of you and asks you to do many things. They have to thank you and tell you that you're doing a good job. Becky looked so baffled at the idea of being thanked for her labels that Sarah could not let the matter rest. Is Miss Munching very unkindly to you? Very kind to you? You shouldn't say nothing about the Mrs. Smith. Sarah looked up and down the hall listening. No one is anywhere about. Come to my room if you feel safer that way. Oh, I shouldn't, miss. This is my first job, miss. First job in a real house. Like, it's hard work. But at night, I've got my own room, and my own bed. Never add that to workhouse. That's workhouse. Damn. You did have a bed? Room's full of beds, miss. But more full of girls. Everyone squeezes. It's good in the winter, ain't it? Keeps you warm. Aww. Sarah did not lack for imagination, but she did not simply have the frame of reference to picture a workhouse dormitory, with its rows of narrow beds crammed together. The smallest sleeping quarters she had ever seen were those on board the ship which brought Sarah and her papa to England. Sometimes it gets real spooky up top, but the wind. Oh, where's the wind? But it's still my room, so it's not so bad. If the Mrs. Anne gave me this job, I don't know what I'd do. She's grateful for it, so little. Listen, are you done with your chores for a while? Would you like to come and have cake again? Oh, miss, I'd like that, but I've got other rooms still to do. And the curtains, and she looked absolutely crestfallen at the idea of abandoning the cake, but still determined not to give up on her duties. Such unrewarded diligence. Miss Min Chin does not deserve her. It's alright, I promise. I will keep the cake and wait for you. You can come by whenever you're finished for the day. Even if it's in the evening, miss? There's a whole heap and cooked and sour today. If you work so late, then you need a treat even more, don't you? I'll stop getting in your way now. I don't want you to get in trouble for talking to me. I'll see you later when you can, I promise. Thank you, miss. Aww. No. Okay. The story ended. I'll save it here. Preference is still the same? Yeah. Save. Wow, there are a bunch of slots. Wow. I'll save it there. That was fast. I didn't expect to save that quickly. Well, I'll leave it at that. Honestly, I'm assuming like no one watched this. But I don't mind. I like visual novels. Maybe I'll do one that's more mainstream someday. Like which one? Like maybe one of the newest Key Studios one. I forgot what it's called though. But yeah. For now, I'll end it here. Thanks for watching if you did. If you watched till the end, you're crazy. And you probably need help. But I appreciate it a lot. And if you sub, I'll appreciate you even more. Yeah. But thank you anyways. Hope you enjoy your night. Sleep well. Or wake up well. Depends where you are in the world. Thank you very much. Goodbye.